we do the D and the D and also the D, that often we flex into a pseudo Brit or UK like accent, like a sort of almost like, when you go, I'm the dungeon master. Where does that come from? Like,
it's for the same reason that the Romans are all British.
It's because of why? Is it because medieval period, or is it because we got into this because of Monty Python?
No, I mean, those are all perfectly valid and probably even accurate hypotheses. However, I think it's literally about no, because in the past, back when all this stuff happened, the Brits were the bad guys. That's why the Romans are all British in all of the old movies.
Because the Romans are bad guys?
Because the British are bad guys. Oh. It's why the Empire is British in Star Wars.
I see.
Also, long time ago, galaxy far, far away, right? The British are the bad guys of the past. That's all.
I see. Right, but also when I'm like, also I'm going to draw my sword and defend the world. I'm often
a good chunk
flexing
of
sort of Brit in there for some reason I don't know why.
Was seeded by Rome. Like, that was part of the Roman Empire for a decent chunk of time.
You're part of the
Roman Empire. But they didn't speak British.
What I'm saying is the Roman language was brought up there and seeded the language.
No, I know, I understand, but no Roman was like, oh wait, governor, like, just didn't happen.
You know?
Oh, that's
Solway, governor.
Developed later. Anywho,
yeah, we're talking about the accent, not the language. That's all I was getting at.
Right. I was just saying, why is it that I flex UK-ish and even badly so when I start talking about fantasy, swords and sorcery specifically? Why are the Fae all Brits? Well, I guess the Fae must come from Ireland.
Middle Earth and Tolkien drove a lot of what we know to be modern fantasy, especially for as much as Gygax used of it.
No, I'm just
also
come on in.
Avalon,
see the misses.
Tied to the Arthurian legend.
I know all about the Mists of Avalon. Thanks.
Well,
I read them book.
So the funny thing about King Arthur is that they're French stories.
Indeed,
that doesn't surprise me either.
Le Mort d'Arthur.
Yeah, so like even us thinking of Arthur as the king of the Britons.
The Britons?
Is more of that. So, you know what I'm saying?
It's Normandy.
Yeah, exactly.
That little land that the Brits used to own that the French own now.
Well, yeah, I was going to say the Brits and then the French and then the Brits and then the French and then the Brits and then the French and then
don't forget
the
German
and then the French
and then the Germans. Bum.
Anywho, storyteller, tell us a story. What's going on? It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, you guys were poking around the Cathedral of Demira during the day, sort of like pacing.
Skulking. I was skulking.
Fair enough. Yeah, skulking would be an accurate description. Yeah, so the intent, I think, was that you guys were trying to determine how best you were going to, what's the best way to put it? Infiltrate the place to try to acquire some evidence or overhear evidence of, well, a Da Vinci Code-esque level religious conspiracy.
Sounds right.
Yeah, that checks out, boss.
She had told us the offices they use are kind of secluded towards the middle of the place, right?
Not exactly. It's more accurate to say that the like whatever meeting or office spaces may exist in the cathedral are not in the main hall, but are instead like upstairs. So that could be potentially above the main cathedral hall, but it could also be, on the outside wings. The trick is that there's no way to like get to them from the outside. They don't have, windows you can look through or anything like that.
They have really good stained glass.
I could probably get under a lot of doors.
Oh yeah, from the inside, sure. Yeah, what I was saying, you couldn't get into the I just meant from the outside. Like those windows don't open, you know.
Right. Yeah. You'd mentioned that they're pretty much standard on the stained glass.
Right. Like every piece of glass you can see from the outside is stained. Yeah, when we quit for the night, Spider Phaleon and Senior Cupcake were both about to head upstairs to the second floor, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
I thought one of us was going downstairs.
Those doors were
No,
locked.
those
You
doors
guys
were
hadn't
locked.
Oh, that's
decided
right.
what you were going to do with them. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, was there any gap on them at all?
Well, I mean, they're doors, so sure, maybe not a cupcake-sized gap, but certainly a spider-sized gap.
Which map was it?
Cathedral Demir, ground floor.
So yeah, I would probably at least check down a little bit first.
All right, so
I
you
was
want to
gonna-
head? You
I'll
want to
let
head downstairs?
Yeah, I mean, well, okay. Let me ask you this: if we both go to the same direction, we'll both be on the same map, and that's easier for you, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
generally.
All right, I'll go up.
Wow. This
All
is
right.
chunky today.
To be fair, the cathedral maps, every floor of it are very big maps.
Seems like
I don't feel like we've fully explored the first floor. I feel like there's some hidden hallways and such.
Actually, I think the first floor you have pretty much cleared. I think, yeah. I mean, just looking at it, it looks like you may not have gone down every single hallway, but I think all of the main rooms have been explored. Certainly, every door you found, you've gone into at this point.
I rifled the altar, I recall.
Oh, right. Actually, that's correct. Jory, there is a door behind you under
Right.
that like cupola that you guys haven't looked at yet. So I guess there
Right.
is a space you haven't explored yet.
I didn't mean to open it when I clicked on it. I would like to probably inspect it for traps or something. Or have someone else if I can't. I mean, this is not my forte,
Sure.
but I know how games D&D works.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you open it again? Does that work?
It did when I clicked on it.
Does it now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I love it when a feature doesn't work at all.
Nice.
Yeah, as a DM, I'm supposed to be able to shift click on doors and lock them. Actually, they're supposed to be locked by default, so the fact that you opened it at all is bullshit. But
It's
now
just
I know why.
No,
because the
that's not
lock
right.
functionality does not work.
It is broken. So no, I'm not going to open it. I never intended to.
I've just had my first Roll20 moment in Fantasy Grounds. That's impressive.
Nice.
Does it unlock
I
that
was
one
gonna
door,
roll,
or does
however.
it accidentally unlock all of the doors?
No, I mean the fact that any of those doors were openable to you guys at all. This is the thing I've seen happen before, to be fair. So I know this is an ongoing problem. But like by default, those are all supposed to be locked so that only I, the DM, can open them. I'm supposed to be able to shift click on them to toggle them between locked and not. And then if they're not locked, you can click on them to open them. What actually happens, however, is that you can just fucking click on anything and open it.
Damn right.
So pro tip, fucking don't.
I, Jory Didlington, have the fingers of grace. No, I will perceive it and say, doth it have a trap? And if I don't think it does, I'm still going to wait for other folks. I might motion them over and say, hey, there's a door here. Someone here, check it out.
Also, remember, the cathedral is not actually empty.
Right.
I didn't throw in, tokens for
for
everyone.
the people that are there.
But there are people here, acolytes, priests, parishioners, question mark.
Yeah, I wonder, how could I get Cupcake's attention or someone's attention? Because I am not the rogue.
Right, well, you can see Watts from where you are.
Can I twitch at him? Can I or use my ears to gesture?
I mean, you
Gestured
can
towards-
see him from where you are, so
What?
Look,
Look
you're
up
in-
here.
you're in the
Look
same
up there.
room. So
Okay. Table talk. What if I go stand by him? Will I still be within range of my cuppy cake? Because I have to stay within a certain range of the cupcake, right?
right. Jory is about 60 feet away from your familiar. And to be fair, your familiar can act on its own without you. You just can't see through its eyes outside of that ring.
Gotcha. Well, I'm using this as a way to scout, so I kind of want to see through it. Okay.
Yeah, eyes is a weird thing to say for a cupcake too, but you get what I'm saying.
You mean icing?
Right. Eyesing. Exactly.
I see what you did there, sir. Okay. What is it, Giorgio?
Did you call me Jojo?
Yeah.
Wow. There's a door here, and I'm not sure if it's trapped or anything. I rolled a perception, but you know how that works. What do you think? Door behind the thing here. Door. We should go through it, maybe.
No, let me look. Sir, what do I think?
Holy cow!
Yeah, the door is not trapped.
We should go here.
Could I tell that if it's locked or not?
Meanwhile, the people who are praying and stuff are all like, shh, just ignore them.
Yeah, well, yeah. Jory already got a gasp last time from fucking with the altar, so people are watching. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be locked. Like, I mean, you certainly don't get any system messages saying that it's locked or trapped or anything like that. But
Motherfuckers, I'm a paladin.
you also don't actually see paladins don't fucking work that way. Stop it. You also don't see any like visible signs of a locking mechanism. It looks like
Gotcha.
it's just.
Do I see like a
door.
holy symbol or anything where we're standing? Like, is this like where the priests come through?
Well, yeah. So the door itself is like stone, and there is an image. You know, like a what is that? A bas relief? Is that what they call that? There is like a chiseled image of Demira on the door. So it's pretty clearly serving some sort of ceremonial purpose.
If you want to go in there, you can. It doesn't look like it's locked. I'm gonna go back to praying, my friend.
Praying.
I'm meditating on the meaning of my existence.
Wow. Well,
he's actually a cleric, so he actually does have a religious connection to his power, or should. Anyway.
Question mark? I don't know if it's my actual goddess or a new goddess. I'm on a soul searching deal. Maybe I'm the cleric of the system. I'm just going to meditate on this one.
All right, man.
You're a blue robe.
Yeah.
Okay.
This joke brought to you by UO.
I'm gonna open the door then. I'm just kind of like lean against it and just kind of like open it and like slip through and close it real quick.
Okay, it's a stone door.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna lean really hard against it.
Well, I was gonna say, lucky for you though, it's on oiled hinges and
Nice.
pretty well balanced. So it does a weird thing though. Like you were expecting one of the edges to be where it would hinge from,
Sure.
but in fact, it rotates on a pole set in the middle. You know,
Crazy.
like a flippy wall thing.
Sure. Okay. I'll flippy wall through it.
Yeah, so you flippy wall through it. Gonna make me open the door anyway.
Gonna make me open the door anyway.
Because they have collision now. I forgot. That was literally my bad, but yeah. Okay, so you find yourself in like almost like a private chapel. It's currently empty. There are a few pews. There are also two like bully pulpits set on either side of a raised dais that has a like black onyx statue of Demira, which is not a color you've ever actually seen her betrayed in before. Like it's an interesting and standout material considering the rest of the room matches the decor of the the rest of the cathedral.
Yeah, for sure. What's
Dais on a
Mira?
dais.
Well, a deity on a dais. On
Yeah,
a
well,
dais.
On a
On a
dais.
dais. On a dais.
On a dais. Right, exactly.
Correct. Made of
And
a
if you
rock.
think I
on the
didn't
dais.
make that joke as I was assembling this map, I would like to point out the 3-tiered dais.
Carved from a rock upon the dais. Shit.
Oh yeah, I was muted. I was here going on a dais, on a dais,
Yeah.
on a dais, on a dais. Oh, on
How's
a
my
dais.
divine sense feeling?
Oh, like your actual like paladin-y divine sense?
I am a paladin.
But not like that.
What does your divine sense see? Is it Fey fiends and celestials? Or is it undead and
Evil.
like
Presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor. Powerful good rings like heavenly music. So as an action, I can open my awareness to detect such forces. And I have the location of any celestial fiend or undead.
Thank you. That's what I was asking.
Yep,
I was going to say, as a paladin player, I understand that your divine senses sees particular things.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, in terms of good or evil, you don't actually detect either.
Yeah.
In terms of fiends, fae, or celestials, you get a faint, like, almost like somebody's pulling on your pant leg, sort of like down and to the west of you.
Down and to the west.
Down and to the west.
All right, I'm going to try to follow the tugging on my pant leg.
That's like the Zapruder prophecies.
Down and to the west.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the floor is flat, so.
Yeah, but like, so it's not like taking me.
That didn't stop
here.
me. Indiana Jones it. Find a pedestal and just beat the wall down. Or the floor, rather.
Well, yeah. So, like, if you were to, the angle of that tug was very shallow, so it's probably nothing directly beneath you.
Right. Probably just across or around.
Just around the riverbed?
Well, just around the bully pulpit.
Oh, okay. So the bully puppet, there's like a little small staircase in the back that leads up inside of it. It has a lectern. On the lectern is, what amounts to I'm not going to call it a Bible because that's not accurate. Let's call it a prayer book instead.
Sure.
Like it's almost like a collected word, like a collection of sermons from flipping through it. But there doesn't seem to be anything else in that particular bully pulpit.
Okay, cool. What's everyone else doing while I'm doing this?
That is an excellent question. You guys are going upstairs, right?
Yep.
All right, hold on. Let me move those tokens there.
All right. Got a rabbit on a bully pulpit.
And I'm seeking penance.
That sounds like a song from some band in the 90s that like drank OK Cola.
I'm seeking penance?
No, I'm a rabbit on a bully pulpit.
Golden man meditating to
Probably had a sick bass line.
inanimate cupcake.
I don't know
where that.
Got a rabbit on a bully pulpit. Some shit like
I
that.
don't know how I did that by accident. But I'm gonna
Did what?
The 20-foot arc up there.
Oh yeah, I see it. I had it obscured by the other map. Okay, I need to share this now. Alien. Okay. You find yourselves both in small landing rooms on the second floor.
So small they have no light.
New map?
Yes.
Where's this?
Uh-huh. Second floor?
Yeah, I just shared it with you.
No light. I cannot see. Cannot see, Captain.
See, Captain?
Yeah.
That's weird. There is a light there.
Hey, there we go.
Okay, it looks like there's
Oh, is it
stairwells going
not
up
loaded?
more.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah, that is correct, Watts.
Oh, they have move lock on.
Sure do. 1 second.
Be a way I could like vicariously watch what you're doing.
You could watch Neuro stream.
No, I mean live because I have my own stream. You see.
You could like open NeuroStream as like a substream.
Holy cow! I totally could. And then it would just be like recursion, stream recursion.
Yep. Streamception. Yeah, so the landing is pretty nondescript. There's like a brazier hanging on the wall that should be given the landing light, and there is an archway that leads out through which you can see a sort of like balcony, I guess would be the best way to describe it.
I remember right on Cupcake Bro, it has true sight 30 foot and passive perception 11. So do I really need the light? Question mark?
No, but it's there.
Okay, never mind. And there's stairs going up to a third floor?
That is correct. Looking through the doorway,
Peer in on our friends.
It looks like the alchemy. It looks like the balcony is currently bare, like nobody's there.
But the balcony was bad.
Okay. I don't.
If I climb up the wall a little bit, I can see the cupcake on the other side, or is it a little too far for my vision?
Yeah, how far does the spider see?
Yeah, what is the vision range on your spider?
Let's see.
Also, how are we coming on your timer for transform form?
Oh, you guys have plenty of time.
Okay.
Spider 20 foot, 20 climbing. Is it dark up here?
Looks to be well lit.
Well,
yeah, I was going to say not particularly, no.
Yeah, it's dark vision 30, passive perception 16.
Oh, okay. So he's regular vision. Yeah, you can see him just fine. I mean, he's probably kind of small, and there is a banister, but it's it's a slotted banister.
Climb up
so
a wall and look across,
Yeah, totally.
I'm spidering along. I'm trying to act natural like a spider. Spider doesn't just make a big line.
Just act natural. No, they make a spider line. Duh.
Okay, so door here. Open, closed.
Should be closed. All the doors are closed, in fact.
Gotcha. Does it have a squeaky spot?
I'm not sure what that means.
A place where I can squeaky through underneath the door or something. Or around it. Is there like a hole that I could possibly send the cupcake through?
I understand. Not likely. I mean, there is a gap under the door, but your cupcake would be smushed going through it. Likewise, There are like grilled, portholes in the doors. So like if the cupcake were tall enough, he could look through them.
Could I try opening the
But
door?
they're barred. Yeah. It doesn't seem to be like locked as far as you can tell. In fact, it doesn't even seem to have locks, so you could probably just push on the door to get it to open.
Okay, I'll push on the doors next to the cupcake.
Okay. With a loud, medieval door squeal, the double doors slide open to reveal what looks like a library with a priest and an acolyte sitting at writing desks at the end of the room, who both turn to look at the doorway. That's exactly the sound, by the way. To see what the fuck. They have not apparently noticed the cupcake yet, however.
Dang it. I was ducking to the side to where hiding. Because, well, cupcake.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think you need to roll for that. I think you had enough time to get out of the way. Because they didn't immediately turn around. You know what I mean?
Okay. Were they talking about anything, or were they doing the quiet transcribing thing?
Yeah, they were both writing, like, as far as you, like, they haven't said anything yet, in fact.
What if they've taken vows of silence?
I mean, I guess it's possible.
Could be a no speaking library.
Could be.
Could be a magic silence library.
They could be one of those deaf mutes.
Could be one of those deaf mutes.
That's a good
Mute
record.
perhaps, not deaf, because, well, the door did thunk, and they turned around at the thunk.
Good point.
Felt that through the floor. I mean,
It's a pretty big stone building. I doubt that.
Can I tell who that is?
Well, yeah, I mean, you would guess it's Demira, just judging from the fact that it is a, saintly woman with her hands outstretched. But you'd have to get closer to get a really good look. But it looks like other statues of her that you've seen, so it's probably a statue of Demira.
Gotcha. Has either of them turned around, or are they still looking? One of them moving towards the door?
Well, they both looked at the doorway, then they looked at each other, and so far nobody has gotten up. But it's only been like a few seconds, to be fair. If you are not going to take the opportunity to interrupt, however, yes, the acolyte will walk towards the doorway.
Yeah, part of me wants to try to get in the room to get one of the windows open for later. Part of me kind of, yeah.
Oh yeah, those windows don't open.
That's grr. Okay.
Okay, well, the acolyte looks at the doorway, looks and sees that there's nobody apparently in the hall, and just closes the door.
Good timing.
So what about the door up here?
Yeah, so same kind of door. Wooden double door with like barred, portals to look into. No obvious like lock on this side of the door. But being like you're a spider, you have multiple ways that you could get through that door if that was your interest. Also, you do hear murmured voices from inside.
Oh yeah, I want to.
murmur.
I want to go in and hear that.
I'm going to pop the door open because I can't get you through the collision otherwise. And then I'll pop it closed.
Yeah. What's the roof in this room, or the ceiling in this room look like, rather?
Yeah, it's a 10-foot, like 10 feet of clearance. It is stone, not slanted roof, which, from what you remember on the outside, means that you're probably on the in the middle of the 3-story stack that is the wings on either side of the main cathedral hall.
All right.
It's a pretty cozy room. Like they've paneled it in wood. It's got a what do they call it? A parquet floor. With some pretty rich rugs, and a couple of priests are basically taking their tea and gossiping with each other.
The large P means priest.
I'm gonna
EP.
climb along. Why do I have the wrong thing selected here again? No, that's not what I want. Drawing. Enter. Drawing. Exit. I don't know why I made the... What the fuck is going on there exactly?
There we go. That was a little bit of us working at odds with each other. I was like, oh, I can click on your token and move it. And all of a sudden I was editing the drawings.
Okay, so, this isn't just stone all the way across. Like, it was just one poured slab of, like, something, or, you know, like, you wouldn't just do that. There would be some wooden beams and stuff, right?
From what you can tell in this room, there is no evidence of like the kind of supports that you are talking about. That said,
I'm just looking for things where I'm able to maybe blend in along an edge a little easier, because I'm going to go above them and listen for a little bit.
You shouldn't have any problem. I was going to say the ceiling is this like wood paneling stuff that is very like, it's got, you know, shapes and patterns like carved into it, lots of ridges and shadows. So like for a spider, it is nothing for you to hide up there.
Perfect. So I'll kind of sit here for a couple of minutes, see what I hear from them.
Okay. Yeah, so the priest on the, I guess let's call it the west rather than the left.
And if they open any documents, I try to see if I can read anything from here.
Right. There are a bunch of documents in the room, but they don't seem to be the topic of conversation.
Right.
In fact, the priest on the left is actually discussing an incident with some acolytes that happened in the priest quarters in town. Something about them getting into a fight with adventurers from the guild, and that ultimately the church is going to have to do a favor for the guild to sweep the whole thing under the rug. Like there's a bunch of names mentioned, but they're not like they're not names of anyone that you've heard of, and it's very clear that they're the names of like acolytes, not important people. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I mean,
these priests are not talking about anything that that would matter outside of the clergy's sort of like clergy's sort of like a social clique. You know what I mean?
I like clergy. What's up with the clergy? Clergy
that's
like
when
French.
It's a dog.
Clergy's the dog.
Right. The Queen's got a bunch of those, right?
Yeah, clergies.
Yeah, so the conversation goes on for a while. Like they don't seem like they have anywhere to be. The overall gist that you get, though, is that things are kind of tense with the priesthood and the city right now. The incident with the Adventurers Guild is not the first incident, nor does it seem like it's going to be the last. And the impression that the priest on the east side of the room gets is that the sort of like happy family that is the Empire might not be so happy anymore. Like, if there's a takeaway from the conversation that is not just inane gossip, it's that the priesthood has noticed that their relationship with the government has changed.
And then, in terms of the incident with the acolytes, did they say exactly like what happened? Like they ambushed them drunk outside a bar or something? Was it gambling related? Like what
Yeah,
were
no,
circumstances?
so the acolytes actually went to the Adventurers Guild and started a fight on the veranda, where, I'd mentioned earlier is kind of like a permanent party state when you walked by it last time.
Oh yeah.
Called for the sinners to repent, etc., at which point a brawl started.
Oh no. There was someone at like that across from the convention center today calling for repentance
Oh,
from
there's
all of
always those jackasses. Don't give them any attention.
all of the Comic-Con goers are clearly evil. It amused the hell out of me. I was like, wow, really here?
Yeah, I saw an honest to God satanic panic thread on Twitter yesterday, like about how fantasy role playing is bad. Actually, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow, going all the way back to 1983.
Right? Exactly, dude. Anyway,
Actually, further, but semantics.
Yeah, fuck, dude. I had friends that could play D&D with me all the way up into 5th, 6th grade.
7th and 8th even.
Mm-hmm.
Before I leave the room, do I see any other features of note? I see the fireplace up there. I see some torches or sconces or whatever those are. What's that thing on what are the things on the left and right? Are those paintings?
They are paintings, yeah. So the painting on the west side is large and is kind of like a, you know what a triptych is, right? A 3-panel painting. Yeah, so it depicts what you realize in the first panel is the city that you're in on fire, and above the flames and untouched on the top of the hill is the cathedral. The middle picture shows the cathedral on the hill with the city sort of being rebuilt in the foreground, while a shaft of, luscious golden, probably tempera pigment makes like a god ray shining down on the cathedral. And then the third panel is actually blank. There is a like charcoal pencil sketch of the cathedral, again in the sort of like same position in the mid ground, sort of on a hill, which fits its actual sort of presentation in the city. But it has not actually been painted yet.
What is the unpainted version? It's just the cathedral so far?
Yeah, it looks like there's like a couple of roughed in buildings. In fact, you recognize like the sort of facade of the pugnatorium, sort of like sketched in as like a rough kind of like ovoid, almost like a cylinder. But like it's clearly not finished. If you had to guess, though, it's probably going to show like a complete and robust city, that sits sheltered beneath the cathedral.
Gotcha.
Given the theming, the painting on the east side of the room is much smaller. It is the portrait of some priest in black and red robes. That's really all you know. Old dude. Looks like he may even have been like an elf or a half elf. You can't really see his ears, but they don't seem typically human. They look a little long.
Interesting.
Not like that of an absolver though, the style of the robes.
No, absolutely not. In fact, not even the same as the two priests in the room. Their robes are blue and black, not red and black. So that is a rank of priest you have not encountered.
And they don't notice the spider at all, right?
Right. The spider's like, it's got one of those sort of like Baroque ceilings that's all wood panels, So like right. You wouldn't notice a dark spider,
Yeah.
Cool. Well, then they wouldn't notice a dark spider make its way out and pass it over. Next person.
All right. I think that's Verde, right? You're the person who has not yet acted, so
seek penance.
Okay. So are you legitimately going to wait for a priest? Is that your plan?
Yeah, I tried to do some kind of monkey see, monkey do stuff and try to flag a priest down in the way that one might. I had like this confessional, which is this thing that I'm going by. Like it seems like that doesn't seem as obvious as like Catholic confessional. So I don't understand how a priest is supposed to know that I'm in here.
Right. To be fair, there really isn't any indication of how it's supposed to work. So like aping other people is pretty much all you could do anyway. You know, no signs, no scripture.
But yeah, no, that's the plan. I wanted to talk to one of these fuckers.
No little booklet with all the little prayers just like right there in it. Step 1, light the candle. Step 2, recite the following. Meshuggah, fucking... No, that's not right.
That's funny. Okay. YOLO, you wait a few minutes, probably while everybody else was doing their exploring around stuff. And eventually, somebody does come through the curtained doorway and closes the curtain behind them. It is a woman, dark-skinned. She has a blue and black robe, kind of like the priest that I was describing earlier. And she wears atop her head a sort of like veil's not exactly the right word, but kind of like a veil. A sort of like gauzy wrap that obscures her face from you. She sits down and she says, how can the light of Demira guide you towards redemption?
I hold my helmeted head in my hands and I say, I'm surrounded by unknown things. I imagined a man without ears, suspecting the existence of sound as we suspect so many hidden mysteries. Man noting acoustic phenomena whose nature and provenance he cannot determine. And I grew afraid of everything around me. Afraid of the air, afraid of the night. From the moment we can know almost nothing, and from the moment that everything is limitless, what remains? Does emptiness actually not exist? What does exist in this apparent emptiness? Whomever fights monsters like me should see to that in the process he does not become a monster. And if you gaze long enough into an abyss, will that abyss not gaze back into you, mother?
So she tries to maintain her composure. Like you can see the visible effort of her doing so, but she ultimately manages to fail probably 30 seconds into your lament, and you just see her visibly blanch, and sort of like watch as her eyes crawl off of your face back to the curtain, and then back to you, at which point she says, I see.
Been all around this great big world. I've seen it all. I've done it all.
The self-deception of philosophers and moralists to imagine that they escape decadence by opposing it. Is it not beyond will, and however little they acknowledge, one later discovers that they were among the most powerful promoters of decadence?
Fucking wonderful, man. You should go. You should go get a fucking hat and a soapbox and just do that for an hour out downtown right now.
That's funny. You should do it next to the people protesting Comic-Con.
I agree. Right across the train tracks from them, in fact, over by the Hilton.
Right. But yeah, so she pulls herself together and she says, Are you an adventurer, perhaps? What are your monsters actual monsters?
Yes, it's exactly. I'm here to protect, to save the world, but what does that mean if not potentially becoming a problem to save the world from and for?
Well, as long as you maintain your faith, I'm certain that Demira would guide you to redemption. That said, understand that if you really are fighting monsters, then you're doing the work of Demira to bring absolution to the world. I don't see why you would be so troubled by this.
Oh, no, don't you see that in order to fight monsters, I might have become a monster myself?
Nonsense.
I'm dead inside.
You almost see a her eyes kind of widen for a second, but at the same time, you kind of see the one corner of her mouth lift up for just a micro fraction of a second, and she says, "Well, Demira will always guide you back to the light if you are willing, and you will work on your absolution yourself. You have nothing to fear. Simply embrace the church. In fact, if you would like, I can put you into contact with a group of other adventurers who seek the wisdom and comfort of Demir."
Oh, you would do that? I feel like my adventures have been so spontaneous and alone that I'm becoming closer and closer to the corpses that I make.
I
All the while I'm
understand.
holding my helmeted head in my hands.
Right. She says, I understand. And she actually, she leans forward across the space between you, and she actually takes one of your hands off of your helmet and puts it into both of her hands. And she says, "You have nothing to fear. Many people who have been cursed or afflicted, who have been, in some cases, literal monsters, have found redemption in Demira. You have her light to guide you. You have the warmth of her embrace to keep you safe, and her breath to bring action to your desire for absolution. You have nothing to fear. I'll prove it to you, in fact." And she sort of like pats your knee and she says, "When you return to the guild, I want you to find the half troll Molag. Tell him that the church asked that you be taken under his wing, and see what Molag can teach you."
Molag.
Is that a half troll?
That is a half troll. That is correct.
Actually, I'm new
What's the
in
other half, a
town.
meme lord?
Literally been here for like maybe a day or so, and tried to subside the thoughts of my darkened mind with the Fugitorium. Where is the guild?
Oh, well, if you've been to the Pugnatorium, it's just on the northeast corner, literally right across the road.
Fantastic. Thank you. I'll do well to make use of this connection.
Yeah, she pats your hand and she says, "In the meantime, might I suggest, yeah, might I suggest a moment of meditation or contemplation in the chapel. Perhaps attend services tonight."
Oh, tonight, services.
Services tonight.
She says, "Well, we hold services every night, but you're already here, so why not take the opportunity to bask in her glory?"
Absolutely.
I mean, basking, right?
I mean, she almost looks beautiful when she's not calling you an idiot.
That gets you an odd look, but she says, right.
Oh, sorry, it was a loser.
She says, I hope that you understand that Jamira loves us all.
Oh no, of course. She gave me the second chance. The one that brings me so close to this monstrous demise, but she called me a loser.
I
mean, one must lose in order to have a second chance, but she could have been a lot nicer about it.
Could have been a little kinder.
Oh, well, she says haltingly, sometimes redemption comes in odd forms. Sometimes it's cruel to be kind. Do you understand?
Are you making this up on the top of your head?
Are you asking her that?
I'm giving her a questioning look that's underneath the helmet, so she might not understand.
You're right, so she can't see that. Yeah.
Have I thrown her off her game?
Oh, you threw her off her game 30 seconds into your litany, man. Like,
sweet. So Molog, he can help me. He can help me make connections and such with and work for the church. You know, do something good rather than just kill.
almost relieved, she says, oh yes. It's not my place to tell Molog's story for him. I would never presume, but understand that your concerns will not be a surprise to Molog. In fact, he may stand as an example for you of what you seek.
He's going to stand as an example.
Absolutely.
Yep, he's gonna Zerpoli that shit.
I was going to say, is Molog's last name Zerpoli?
No, Molog's actually his last name. Zerpoli's his first name.
Oh. Miss you, Chris, by the way, if you're watching this.
Mission, man.
I'll say. This stands as my, shout out.
Right, exactly. I would recite a poem, but I don't think we have time.
Well, I feel much better. Thank you.
Oh, of course, she says, of course. And she seems super relieved as she says that, and like stands up as if to signal that she is done here, without giving you an option to say otherwise. She releases the hand that she had been holding this whole time, and she says, may Demira guide you to absolution. And she leaves.
Like, fuck. MH.
I quietly peek to see which way she goes before making my way out.
Yeah, she headed north, out into the main entranceway.
Okay. I guess I'll look for Watts and those guys in the main hall.
Despite Phalian's token being there, there's no one actually in that hallway, but there are a couple of your compatriots in the cathedral itself.
Ooh, what pretty flowers! Walk up to the altar. What's currently being displayed?
On the altar is a chalice, a bowl, 2 candles, and 2 red cloths.
Anything in the chalice?
Water. That seems to glow with the faint, faint sort of scintillating light that the holy water fountain in the front did too.
I inspect it before I drink it.
I inspect the water. It's clear, tasteless, odorless.
This holy water?
Yeah, it's definitely holy water. At least it's the same water that's in the fountain at the entrance, which you presumed to be holy water.
Oh yeah, I washed my face in that.
Right.
Okay. I don't need to drink any water.
So you're glad it's not bidet water, is what you're saying.
No, I was actually hoping that it'd be like wine or something.
Yeah, nothing of the sort, sadly.
Oh well.
Too bad I can't like whisper in your mind and be like, bruh, there's a little door behind the altar.
Yeah, she's also the goddess of like Alcoholics Anonymous. So there wouldn't be alcohol.
Second chances, right?
Yep, exactly.
All right, folks, who's next?
The
Watts?
Jory or a Watts?
Yeah, it's Watson then me, I think, or is it? Yeah, or did Watts go after me?
I think I went after Jory, so
Then it's me.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I was actually not specifically setting a turn order so much as seeing who had business, but
Is me.
I mean, I've always got stuff, but I'm not gonna just hijack.
Yeah, well, until I regroup the join.
right. Wasn't Christian Slater in that one? It was like a skateboarding one, right?
Regroup the join, yeah.
Regrouping the join, yeah.
It was pretty bad. Like, well, I mean, it was actually not really bad. It was in the shadow of so many other films that,
Totally.
a little avant-garde.
All right. Well, if we're going in the de facto turn order, then it's your turn, Jory.
Diddlington. I can't see. Thank you.
Why can't you see?
I can now. Why can't you see? All right. Inspect the statue. I'm just gonna brazenly walk right up onto the old dais there.
Well, I mean, you are alone, so.
And do I give it? Let me think. Would it be a perception? Would it be a religion? Or would it be like an arcana? I think it'd be a religion, yeah?
Well, what is it that you're trying to glean from this key, as it were?
Awesome use of the language, bro. My intent is to see if this has any, like, if I can shove it and make it do something, if there's some like mechanism. What's going on with the statue? Why is it made of obsidian?
Okay. Onyx, by the way.
Onyx.
Which is cooler than obsidian in that it's, kind of semi-metallic rather than glassy, right?
Sure.
But what's the word?
Is that more perception than religion? Is that more insight?
Right. So
either?
if you want to like figure out why the statue is made of a different material, and you wanted to take a physical-based approach, a forensics-based approach, then you would be looking at either perception or investigation. More accurately, investigation, honestly.
Oh, but my perception is better than my investigation.
Yeah.
Only by 1 point. Only by 1 point.
I will take perception, but you're going to learn different things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because perception is kind of like what's the read of the room? Like it's
yeah, and if I roll a 9, it doesn't really matter anyway because I'm kind of a dummy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Dumb little rabbit.
Yeah, so there's no obvious mechanisms that you can see. There's no like scuff marks on the dais that imply that the statue can move or rotate. And no obvious like buttons or anything like that. As far as you can tell, it is an ordinary statue of Demira, just made of a black material.
Right then. Can I also get up in here and see if there's anything weird?
It's almost identical to the other bully pulpit. In fact, the only difference is that there is a swaddling of gauzy red cloth, basically in a like 16-inch wide strip that's probably about 4 feet long, that's sort of like folded up and stuffed under the lectern.
Wow, that's it though. But that's there.
Yeah.
How big is it? Can I grab it and put it in my little box of things?
Oh yeah, certainly. Like I said, it's about 4 feet long and about 16 inches wide.
All right, I'm gonna roll it all up and throw it in my little ephemeral box of space things.
Okay. You have a bolt of gauzy red cloth.
And the little booklet in here you said wasn't even like a book of lectures or doctrine. It was more like a let's sing the song of Demira.
Yeah, like I said, like a prayer book, not a Bible, you know?
Yeah. All right. In that case, I think I'm done. I'm curious, like, where else would I go from here other than out? Like, do I have any indication that like this place over here, I can't make a ping on it? Is this a way I could go?
Nah, those are windows. Like it's a pretty ornate, stained glass window of the sort of like classic, three separate panes. One of them a small sort of like top notch and at the top of the arch.
Sure. What's probably outside? Is it the same on the other side too?
Different windows, but yeah, basically the same deal.
And then that's holy water, I assume, in that little bucket.
That is correct. Yep.
What's outside these windows that I can see? I mean, I'm sure it's blurry and colorful because I'm looking through stained glass.
Right. I was going to say you can't make out anything distinct, but you can certainly see, like the hedges and other garden work that surrounds the cathedral. So, it's the outside as far as you can tell.
Spooky. And theoretically, I can open any of these windows because they all light up as locked. Like if I were to do a float the Seeker, adventure game thing.
Yeah, there's no way to open these windows that you can see short of like throwing something through them.
Nice. And if I did, it would be outside that's out there. You said.
Correct. Yes.
All right, then. I guess I'm going to spend as much time as it takes to move back out and probably come back through the door that I know about, back into the church and like, don't mind me, and find my way back to my friends who are just down over here, it looks like.
Yep, go ahead and move yourself. That's fine.
Doopy 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 doop.
All right.
You guys aren't going to believe what I found over there. Crazy shit.
Yeah, I totally was just telling Watson about what I just did. It was fucking hilarious.
Bro, onyx statue of Demira, like the size of you, man. The size of you.
Ooh, that is pretty good. There was this hot priestess babe, and I totally freaked her out by quoting Nietzsche.
Nice.
But why do you always go for that one?
Well, because she's a priestess. Actually, I would have selected something else if it wasn't like of second chances and everything. Like,
come on, what were you gonna do? Heidegger?
Yeah.
He could have gone for God is dead. Like, I mean, as long as he was, fucking with a priest with Nietzsche, right? But
I mean, you could have gone with Freud.
I could have, but no.
Tell me about your mother.
More importantly, while I set her up into a terrible position.
Are you a priestess of Demira because you miss your mother?
All right, bro. I got a name. I got a contact. We can pump for information.
Awesome. Well, I'm having a conversation with them, finding out their adventures. Cupcake Bro is... I'm still within range of actually controlling Cupcake Bro and saying stuff? Or do I need to technically move back a few pews?
Every time I see your pace, I feel like I have to roll to not laugh.
Your cupcake can probably move another 40 feet west before you hit the fringe of your ability to share senses.
Okay. The door that I'm in front of, is it locked?
Are you going to push on it? Like, do you want me to describe it first? Do you like?
Yeah, let's go for the description first.
Okay. The reason I ask is because it's a different door than the type that you've seen before. It is in fact an incredibly ornate wooden door. It has a single door knob beneath which there is a very conspicuous keyhole. You can't tell, from where Cuppy is sitting there. You can't tell if it's actually locked or not. However, carved into the front of the door is a mural of Demira, sort of like in benediction above a small group of people who are, it looks like, illuminated in a shaft of light. At the center of the group of people, one person holds a book.
Huh.
Interesting. Is the handle one that Cuppy could grab a hold of and do something with, or not so much?
Maybe with like an acrobatics or an athletic check, because it's kind of up there and there's nothing to climb on nearby.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's not bad.
Dexterous little cupcake.
Second here.
I looked for proficiencies first. The cupcake has none, so I figured a dex of climbing, jumping, something or other.
Cupcake's proficiency, sweetness.
Actually, it has a +1 to charisma, so you're not wrong.
Why would somebody help me die?
One
Yeah.
at a time.
Yeah. So Cuppy, Cuppy does this sort of like, like standing jump, high jump thing. Manages to get both its Cuppy little arms on the doorknob, but it is in fact locked.
And like wiggling doesn't result any results.
Just a tiny bit of shift, enough that you can confirm that it's locked.
Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle.
You got a question. Cuppy's hand versus that door lock. Is it close enough for me to shove in and like wiggle?
Wiggle.
Yeah, probably.
Lockinator 5000. Go.
I say it's
Dexterity
wiggle, wiggle.
again, sir?
Yeah, that would be dexterity.
That's a fail.
Yep. Yeah, it manages to get his hand in the lock, but he can't really feel anything useful.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna drop down and scamper away. I see a pair of priests.
You do. So this piece of the balcony kind of like goes over what would be the altar in the lower floor. There are two priests sitting at benches. In fact, since I can move them a half grid, let me move them back. There, that's better. But yeah, so there's a priest sitting at each bench, both of whom are very obviously praying with their eyes closed.
Interesting. Okay, that had those pair. They weren't doing anything but transcribing. It didn't say anything. These two are very obviously praying. Are they chant praise or silent praise?
They're kind of muttering to themselves, like it's probably meant to be silent, but they're just, do it so often they probably don't even notice they're doing it.
Okay. I'm going to move back to the stairwell to go up, and in my turn.
All right. Phelan.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue along, doing what would be expected. Check in the next door here. First, taking a look at it, is it similar to the one on the other side?
Yeah, there's a different like mural like carved into the door, but it's absolutely the same sort of form of door. The mural in this case shows again Demira sort of like standing above a group of people. However, she seems to be offering them a loaf of bread.
hand out to the.
A loaf of bread, how nice.
All right. I'm gonna see what's in the bread door.
All right. The room is very dim. There are candelabras on each of the 4 tables that are in there. I don't know if you can even see them in the dark, but oh yeah, you have senses. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, those candelabras are not lit. There are a couple along the east wall, and then one sort of like standing candelabra on the west wall beneath a trophied head of like looks like an elk, maybe. But it's basically a dining room, from what you can tell. There's a cold hearth at the north end of the room as well, and there's nobody in here.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a once around the room, just kind of check in as I go in spider detail. If there's any hidden doors along the well, no, there wouldn't be any there. There wouldn't be any there. Those ones have windows. No, there wouldn't be any secret doors.
That's correct.
At most, something hidden behind that painting. What's that? What's on the painting?
Oh, the one on the north side there?
Yeah.
It's looks like a battle scene. Looks like one dude facing a horde of demons.
Wow.
Oh, well, good luck.
Kind of looks like an Ultima cover, honestly.
Nice. All right. I think I would, since I didn't see much action going on from the cupcake going through the doors to the south here, I would just kind of make my way over to the edge here and kind of go up and around kind of the inner wall area of the kind of second floor railing to end up I don't know if it'll just let me do this or if it's gonna say no. I would be going on the inside wall here. Actually,
Right, I get it.
yeah, no, I would be going on the inside wall, not this wall here. And then once I get to here, make my way over and across and see if this room is similar to the one on the other side. If there's similarly any occupants.
There are occupants in this room, and it is not similar to the other side. It's kind of like a library, I guess. Though, judging from the 2 people at the south side of the room who seem to be making books, it's probably more like a craft scriptorium.
I see. I'm gonna kind of creep along, take a little look. What are some of the spines of the books labeled with?
Yeah, okay. So, interestingly enough, every book is of identical form. They are not the same book, to be clear. But they're all bound in the same material, roughly the same size and shape. And on the spines are nothing but number ranges. One says like, 107 to 210. Another one, like they're you would guess they're years maybe. And that what you're probably looking at are chronicles.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. I'm gonna look at some of the ones over on this side. Kind of check out a little bit on all the shelves and see if I'm mostly just looking at different sets of numbers, or if I'm looking at other volumes and other catalogs as I check around other things.
Yeah, nope, they all seem to be pretty much the same. Like, assuming that the theory that those number ranges are years, you're basically looking at, a sort of like contiguous array of chronicles across about 400 to 450 years.
And that's after the fall and everything got burnt.
That's after okay. Hold on. Not exactly, but yes. That covers the span of time since what they call the first onslaught.
Okay.
So yes, in that span of time, the city did get burned down more than once. And the other stuff that you've all heard about happened.
I got better. Okay, so there might be something useful. Do I see any of them? I guess as I kind of go above them, hopefully not being noticed because they're nose deep in their studies and their work.
Yeah, they're not looking at you at all. I mean, technically, you're not even the only spider in the room. So,
shot. Hello, spider friend. Spider.
Wave. Yeah.
What do I see on their books? Like, what's the sort of content that they're writing in them?
Yeah. Okay. So the acolyte, the guy that you're above right now, is actually copying loose notes into a book. So he's not doing anything that I would call creative. But he looks like he's probably transcribing the reports of, you would guess, someone like an absolver into a chronicle. There's none of the text that he's writing references anything that you're familiar with. There's discussions about a farming community and a place called Knightsfeld, but it's all really mundane shit.
Knightsfeld. I saw that guy open up once. Comedy Club. What's the deal with dark elves?
Knightsfeld.
Sorry.
Knightsfeld was a trio. It was a power trio out of Canada, if I remember right.
That's funny.
That works too.
Yeah, no, I like Knightsfeld as the comedian. He does that paladins getting sacraments and carriages.
Yeah. And then I suppose over to the priest, is it something along similar lines?
So he is not transcribing notes, but is in fact writing directly into the book. And what he is writing appears to be a description of what has been happening over the last couple of weeks in the church. For example, you see him writing about that incident that you heard about across the room, wherein it's discussed that they bribed one of the city guard to keep the names of the acolytes out of the official report.
Oh. Oh, I see. All right. Any mention of the explosion at Poe?
Not that you can see.
Okay. I don't know that I want to.
To be fair, nobody's really talked about it much in the city, so you're not entirely certain that that's common knowledge yet.
Right. Okay. I'm going to leave this room and whoops, I'm trying to grab the priest. That's not gonna work. I don't want to grab a priest because I don't want a priest to grab me back. All right. Since I'm guessing it's gonna be pretty empty, I'm gonna check this room too.
Okay, this room is in fact not empty. It is, however, very dark. There are a priest and a couple of acolytes inside. Otherwise, though, the entirety of the room seems to be dedicated to the display of very old books.
Ooh. I'm gonna see what I can kind of read off of the ones that are laying around open here.
Yeah, cool. Give me just a second. I am going to go to the restroom real quick. Bear with
Yeah,
me.
let's take like a quick break.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
All right, back in a couple.
Nice. Y'all can just. Nice. I mean, I suppose you can all just watch me eat my ice cream here. Was destroyed in the package, so that the bottom little bit here is broken off from the main cone, so to speak. Maine Coon also being a breed of cat, I believe I've heard sometime in the past or something like that. Could be wrong. Correct me in the comments. /S.
Watson, do you think they'll set me up with the same priestess if I come again wailing about, nihilism?
Most likely not, my friend. I do believe she would go. I don't see that happen.
What do you mean? I mean, she's the one who has best, repertoire with me.
But do you know her name?
No.
Well then, if they do not know who to seek. You said you had frightened her, so most likely she would avoid.
I didn't frighten her. I put her faith into question.
For
Gave her an existential panic attack.
For someone of the cloth, that is fear.
I suppose.
You're not afraid of little existential dread, are you?
I know, right? Right?
You all may not. She, on the other hand, most likely is.
No, I mean, she has faith. She's following Kierkegaard's rules. She should be able to.
But if you're causing her existential dread, she may have shaken her faith to where she could possibly have lost it. That is not
well
intent,
then
my friend.
she's not pulling a Kierkegaard correctly, because Kierkegaard's whole deal is that if you question,
You also have to
the
remember
relevancy
that
of
may not be available here. That was advanced theology back home.
Kierkegaard.
Remember education
Philosophy, but yeah, I mean,
Medieval.
but Kierkegaard doesn't exist in this world.
Exactly. So there's no guarantee that they have anything similar too.
I'm totally wrong. Kierkegaard's the 1800s.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna point that out, but yeah,
Really early 1800s though, 1830, or sorry, 1813.
yeah.
Does this place look even close to that level of development, sir? Well, let's be honest here. Come on.
Absolutely not.
So
Yeah,
the likelihood of them having something similar, not so good.
it's safe to say.
She made the leap really quickly.
Most likely was panicking, doesn't know what she actually did to get out of there as quickly as possible.
She did the either of the or part, She accepted fate. That's a good one. She won't be suffering from existential dread for another couple hundred years before, people realize that morals come beyond Demura and stuff like that.
Yeah, you would have to lead her to the God is dead essay, I think, if you really wanted to fuck with her.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of maybe coming every single day, just like with a new existential crisis.
Like that
Depends on how busy we get. You know what I mean?
Yep, totally.
No, I was asking Watson. I wonder if I came multiple times and became a face in the church, if they'd eventually pop her, as Mike, my handler or something.
Right.
I think your phrasing needs some work.
What? Handler?
No.
Pop her.
So that was the second of, if you came many times, maybe they would pop her for you.
No, you're just a pervert.
Wow.
No,
I
no,
mean-
similar to what Twisted Sister's lead singer said. I think you were looking for it.
I thought he said, "What are you gonna do with your life?"
He also
Right.
said that, but he also said that Al Gore's wife was looking for sadomasochism and BDSM.
And then he said he wanted
To be
pop.
fair, I actually believe that about Tipper Gore for what it's worth.
Do you remember that other song about Tipper?
Yeah, I do. Like,
I do too.
It's the reason I know Al Gore's wife's name.
Right? Because he wants to, the singer of the song, OP.
Right. Right.
OP would like to have carnal relations with Tipper Gore. If the name of the title of the song is to, the title of the song is to be believed.
Exactly.
It's quite a moving, ballad. It's sort of stirring. What? I'm a product of my time.
I was
I
going to
don't
say it's not my fault that Tipper Gore did what Tipper Gore did to earn
Hey.
the ire of those people.
Right. You want to know why you have to have a parental warning sticker on anything published by a major label in the United States?
sells albums.
You want to know specifically which one?
I was going to say it sells albums as a result, but that wasn't the intention.
No. And the intent, like the first album was this band that was banned. A band that got banned from Florida for performing numbers from their notorious album As Nasty as They Wanna Be. That band being the Two Live Crew. They also did some rad sampling, and sampling back in the back before you had to really do a lot of work to clear your sample, back when you could sample just about fucking anything.
Yeah, back before copy wrong.
Right. All I'm saying is what can I get for $10? Anything you want. How do I know that sample? I mean, yes, I've seen the movie, but Two Live Crew, that's how I know that sample. Anything.
We're still waiting.
I assume.
Yep, I think we're waiting on Neuro, right?
Yep. Legendary Neurospider. So there's the priest, and then what's A? What's the A?
Acolyte.
Acolyte. Okay, now I understand. Acolyte. That's what you're called in an
Acolyte.
gang. Yeah, crack-a-lack-a-light.
Oh no, I was thinking a Lockalite. They have Shrouds of Darkness,
Oh, sure. I was thinking if you were a street gang in the inner city, you had the crack-a-lack-a-light. What's crack-a-lacking? The crack-a-lack-a-lights. Bring them up.
Yeah, they're adherents of the Crack-a-lackin' is what you're saying.
Say it's the last straw on the camel's back. Crack-a-lack-a-lack-a-lack.
I feel like the Carakalackin is probably some sort of great old one.
Oh, indeed. The crack-a-lackin', yeah, it rises up from the bay.
Right, exactly.
There's seriously no bluff skill.
You're a bluff skill.
All right, I'm back.
There's deception, isn't there?
Yeah, I guess there is.
All right, legendary Neurospider.
So the book.
All right. You wanted to scope these books, right?
Yeah.
To just these books.
Okay. To call them books, I mean they're books. That's fair. But I think a more accurate description might be codices. In
Spiders
that
even like read.
in that what you're reading from the open pages are descriptions of types of demons, their weaknesses, and what has been successful in killing them in the past.
Oh, I want to try to remember as many as I can.
Nice little spider sitting on this book, waving his little paws around. Fucking.
That's pretty funny. Do you want to make some sort of intelligence check?
You just do a flat end.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to do.
I mean,
was looking to see-
okay. Well, it'd be int or whiz. I guess int is your memory.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking int.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to maybe run history, that's, a little
Okay.
sidelong, but that might work.
All right. Skills. History, which is not something I've got any experience in anyway.
Okay. That's not a failure, so there's that. It's not a super great success, though.
Right. Yeah. I figured it was a range.
Yeah, so why don't we do this? Make a note on your character that you understand the weaknesses of mountain fire demons.
Let's see. Where's the notes? Here, I'll just
Interesting
add it
thing
as
to
a
learn.
trait. Mountain fire demon weakness. Not demon. Mountain fire.
Demon.
Mountain
Demo.
fire demon. Denim.
Denim weakness.
Fire denim.
Mountain
Yep.
fire denim.
Aha! I've got you wearing the 501s.
Oh, man.
Weak to my sword now.
Mountain Fire Denim is legit like an awesome band for a Canadian indie rock group.
I was thinking it too. That's funny.
I'm wearing the mountain fire denim. Watch me stride through your campfire.
And is it like a specific element, or is it more like where to hit them?
Yeah, so mechanically, that will probably translate into a +1 on attack rolls against those types of demons. Because it's not like, oh, they're weak against ice. It's when fighting, they lumber and they often strike in, long sweeping strikes that leave them open beneath the armpit, shit like that.
Rockin'. All right. I suppose, is that the sort of thing I'd be able to teach the others, or
For sure.
Okay. So that will be part of the things. Not that I necessarily learned it, but what was the big book, or was that actually what I got from the big book?
Yeah, no, actually the big book is different from the rest of the books in the room. So let's treat that separately. As you crawl across the ceiling and you look at all these books. What you realize about the big book is that it's actually it's not a book written by paladins. It's not a book written by clerics, but is in fact a book written by mages about the anatomy and biology of orcs.
Weird. So what's it got to say?
Mainly that orcs are known to be the servants of demons, and that they are typified as different from the other species of the world in that they have multiple redundant organs, significantly heavier bones, and significantly more puncture-resistant skin than most of the other humanoids in their size ranges. However, this comes in exchange for not having any magical ability whatsoever. They appear to have no connection to the weave or to the gods of this realm. The wizard who wrote the book could not explain that after many vivisections of orcs.
Okay. Demon orcs have no magic. Gotcha.
The priest sitting at that table is kind of like idly flipping through the book. Really, you get the impression that he's kind of there babysitting the two acolytes, who are very obviously committing shit to memory.
Let me see. Okay. Now, what's with the hand? Is this just like a model of an orc hand over on the side?
Exactly.
Okay. I thought it was gonna be like a yod or like something. You're only supposed to touch it with the statue hand or whatever. You don't actually touch it with your own like.
Right. Nope. It's an anatomical model, like a sculpture, basically.
Oh well. Alright. So that's what I learned from that one. Orcs. Don't be. It's one of those World War orcs are bad. I'm glad nobody rolled an orc.
At least that's how this church seems to feel.
Okay. So that's. And how old? Like, these all look like old books, yeah?
Yeah. Like even the big book there, which is probably the best well cared for out of the bunch, is very obviously centuries old. Like the pages are yellowed. In some cases, like corners are missing. Like it's an old book.
Man, none of them seem to cast mending on their shit. A bunch of losers. Well, whatever. Ain't my library to maintain.
Yeah, it's an entire church full of people who didn't take that cantrip.
Yeah. An entire faith that doesn't know how to. An entire faith about giving things second chances that has no ability to cast
doesn't know, man.
the literal fucking recycle repair spell, you know? The irony. Alright. I have taken big turn. My next one would be as I crawl just up the wall and up and across and up to the third floor the dirty way. Don't even bother with the staircase this time.
There's no way to get up there from here other than the staircase.
Okay. Then I go towards the staircase.
Yeah, in fact, the roof of the room that's like over the main cathedral, not like not on the balconies, but like over the main cathedral is like kind of an A-frame. Like you could tell that it's the roof line. Though it's it's a pretty big roof. So
Gotcha.
Oh, so you two are going to head upstairs.
Yes.
All righty. What? No, YOLO. What are you up to?
Making a scene.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sitting next to Watts and meditating, of course, on Demura. But being that I'm still a little salty at Demura for, making me literally dead, I'm seating all of the people in earshot of my very loud voice questions of existentialism. I've been seating the chat in it,
Gotcha.
Is it a perfectionism on the part of the bird that in hard times it sits and dies of hunger and knows nothing at all to do that dazed? It lets itself fall to the ground and die.
Brother, calm thyself, meditate, and pray into the goddess. We seek
And every
guidance
time-
here.
every time you do this, I cry dramatically, head in my hand for a moment, and then I say something different like, Tamara! This anxiety is the dizziness of the freedom you've given me! Damn second chance!
Are you trying to disturb others who are seeking guidance? Why? Let them seek guidance into her to find their second chance just as we have.
It is perfectly true that life must be understood backwards. But they forget the other proposition that it must be lived forward.
Stop. Silent contemplation.
Sign. This is how I meditate.
Meditation is quiet, not loud. You are doing the opposite.
I don't know, man.
This is not reverse day.
You're practicing lamentation. That's an entirely different skill.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can channel divinity.
Enables me, negates me.
I'm pretty sure I can use either Emissary of Peace or Rebuke the Violent in order to mellow you out. Just be like, no, bro. You have to understand that something here is important. Like, there's a reason this has happened. As bullshit as it is. Look, I'm a rabbit, man. I'm a rabbit.
Hey, both of you, it's okay. Silent contemplation.
Saying, look, my channel divinity, I only have 2 powers. One is Emissary of Peace, and then the second that I gained at 3rd level, which I am now, is Rebuke the Violent. You can use your channel divinity to rebuke those who use violence immediately after an attacker within 30 feet. Okay, so he doesn't deal damage, so I can't rebuke the violent, but I can be an Emissary of Peace and augment my presence with divine power and grant +5 bonus to my charisma persuasion for the next 10 minutes, and I can just be like, bro, clearly this is an adventure that we're here to see through. We should just...
Are you trying to persuade me to...
You're damn right. I totally am, and I'm going to roll it right now. Here comes my persuasion roll.
Are you adding your +5?
It should do it automatically, especially since I rolled a fucking 3, god damn it!
But
It doesn't do it automatically.
The most painful
It did. Hey,
purpose of this state is remembering my future.
The additional +5 from your channel divinity.
oh,
Particularly the future of the one I won't have.
Wow, you rolled a 1.
Wow. Mine's still shitty.
And no, it didn't add the extra +5 as far as I can tell. It just added
So if you look
+5.
down at the bottom of your screen,
Yes.
do you see the ADV dis buttons?
Yes.
Do you see the +2, +5, -2,
Yes.
-5?
I do.
So in the future, if you wanted to do that automatically, you would press one of those buttons and then roll.
I see it. Wow, neat. Okay, cool. I got new dice too, because fuck those dice. Anyway, how'd that roll out, considering that would be a +5 on top of an 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a 13 at least. And he rolled a 1.
That's persuasion versus, yeah.
Yeah, I think though that he would actually want to make a saving throw versus charisma, not a persuasion check.
Okay.
Should I roll a charisma roll? Okay, he rolled a 2.
I don't lie.
Yeah, you're
He's too busy thrashing around in the throes of his whininess when I try to mellow him out.
I'm not actually spazzing.
Did I actually calm you down though?
Right. Well, so yeah, exactly.
No,
so,
no,
like,
you did. I think you're being serious. I'm not actually spazzing. I'm just bored.
Right. No, I was gonna say you are calm, but I mean you weren't actually having an existential crisis, so
Yeah.
Fine. I just use my monklingtonness on you, even though I'm not a monk. I'm a paladin, but I'm a pal monk. I'm a maladin.
Paladin of peace.
But
Paladin
truly,
of peace, indeed.
and I walk just to the side of the altar. What if everything in the world were a misunderstanding? What if laughter were really tears, brothers, sisters?
Bro,
Strange all laughter looks like.
did you
crying.
carry? Oh wow, really though? Really?
No. No.
I
That's
feel
as
at
far
this
as that's
point
gonna
you're
go.
not even really convincing or trying.
I was gonna say, Yola, did you bring weed across? How did you bring weed across?
I wish, Jory.
Only you thought to put that on your character sheet.
Putting momentarily, not to dare is to lose oneself. And I look to the people who are probably, trying to ignore me.
I'm snickering at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Under my rabbit nose.
Actively trying to ignore you, in fact.
Right. Because we're in the church still, right? Yes. Oh my god. Lols. I was trying to be somewhat mellow. No.
Yeah, there's no priest in the room, though, right? So, like, nobody's doing anything. Like, they're just irritated.
They're just irritated.
If everyone on the verge of action would judge themselves
My
according
god, YOLO. Oh my god.
they would never
Stop
begin.
being a troll, sir.
These people are worshipping.
Half troll.
No! Wow!
Jory, are you gonna do anything?
Do you mean about YOLO?
No, I mean in the next 6 seconds of game time.
Because you're saying it's my time.
Correct.
It's your role. It's your time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. I'm gonna try to convince fucking YOLO to get over here and mellow the fuck out. I'm gonna try to chill him out. Bruh. Let's go. Let's fucking go before these people here, have a problem with us.
Yes,
Jesus.
let's leave this building. It just
Not even
creates
cheese it. More like, let's take this out onto the street, because there are people here that are worshiping, and I don't want them to not be doing that.
Right. Oh, do definitely take that out on the street. Yeah.
You're right.
You definitely take that. No, come on. Fritz. Before we light the dorm on fire.
Let's cheated myself out of the love that is
Let's
most
go.
terrible deception.
I can lay hands on him. What the fuck?
No. You're walking me out. We're walking out, but I'm just.
What?
Yeah, bro. Do you take him? I need to meditate. I gotta work on my calm, man.
Oh my god.
Anyone who's on the verge of action, it is them who is closest to Demura, but yet farthest away from themselves.
Mara, Dema, Demirara.
People,
Wow.
Mara.
Please stop. We have pushed
Please.
we've pushed Fantasy Grounds to the point where it's behaving like Roll20.
Please stop. You know what you don't know? You know what you don't know, Snipe?
illness.
Today, when Verde and I were down on Fifth Avenue, we saw actual Hare Krishnas playing drums and singing the song that I was just
Yeah, they
singing.
do that outside conventions and stuff. That's right.
It's been fucking years since I got, but I know that song by heart, so that's why I can.
Cool.
That's why I can turn the Demerara version into off the top of my head. It was easy because I know that song.
Meow meow.
Yeah, man.
I even get into this world is the last thing I'm yelling out before.
Okay. Hey, we passed by Phelan. As I passed by Phelan, I tug at your sleeve like Phelan.
There is no Phelan's not here,
No.
Dave.
That's right. You're the Spidey. That's right.
That's just parking the token.
It's just a ghost. Yeah, I understand.
That was the Christian Slater movie. Damn it.
Wait, which one?
Parking the token.
Parking the token. I thought it was tugging the ghost.
No, that's a Patrick Swayze one, right?
Is it Patrick Swayze or is it the one with Neil Patrick, or not Neil Patrick Harris, but fucking Haley Joel Osment?
Oh, the one with Bruce Willis, right?
Right. Tugging the ghost.
It's either that or it's a porno. I can't.
Wow.
I can't tell, right?
Wow, that's a different Haley Joel. That's Haley Joel Awesome, I think.
Oh, that's terrible.
Tugging the Ghost could also
You heard
be
it here,
like
folks.
some sort of like a name of an episode of Scooby Doo.
Which one? Tugging the ghost?
Tugging the Ghost.
Like, did you have to say ghost? Like, did you have to say tug?
What? Your connection to your cupcake friend is very tenuous now.
Right, because he's going to run out of range soon.
Correct. Could you turn that down, please?
Okay.
Oh, let me
So
unlock
do
tokens.
I need to move closer to the wall?
The issue is vertical height. Like you're 2 stories down of a very tall building at this point.
Gotcha. I didn't know if it was going to be a what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a dome, and if I was closer to directly underneath, I'd have a little bit more wiggle room.
You would have some, but you're actually pretty close to directly underneath your cupcake anyway. And the 3rd floor is the roof of this massive cathedral, like as far as vertical slices go. So it's like 80 feet up. You know what I mean? Like you're right on the edge of what you can do.
I can't seem to move my... Oh, there we go. Because I have to go that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got collision.
Is that okay? That's an open arch.
I was totally building the tension up till where you were like, now you have a tenuous connection with your cupcake, and that's why it was loud, right? That it had been building slowly.
Yeah, I realized it wasn't gonna not be loud anymore, so I had to call it out so that we could play.
It went back.
Are the windows here openable?
They are not. However, you can see the roof of the cathedral through them on the west side. I mean, it's blurry and warped and tinged in various colors, but you can see that you're looking out at the roof line, basically.
Neat.
Okay, so you have come to an interesting room. A single brazier burns in the center of the room, in between 2 opposed statues. One is a very large alabaster statue of a saintly woman in the pose that you have recognized Demira in before. And I'll get back to that in a second. The other one is an onyx statue that is obviously Demira that is sitting on a pedestal. You realize as you compare the two that the alabaster statue is not the same woman. And you're not exactly sure who or what that is. Various other statues also fill the room. There are some statues of knights in the corners on the south and north sides of the room. On the west side, there are a pair of like lions guarding a large stone doorway. And on the east side, there are what appear to be 2 like imps or gargoyles, and they flank an alcove within which sits a tapestry depicting a demon apparently going over an infernal contract.
Okay, so the onyx statue in the middle is. Am I able to identify who it is?
Yeah, the onyx statue in the middle is Demir, no question.
And then the one on the left is
Someone else.
Is the one on the left one we've seen elsewhere in the more public-facing areas?
No.
Well, we wouldn't know actually. It's up to Lon.
okay. So I have paper and pencil, I believe.
Right.
Could
To
I
chronicle
make-
your
Could I do a sketch and write down a description of what I'm seeing here?
right.
Yeah,
How this
for
one
sure.
is not that one exactly.
Yeah, I mean there are a couple of like obvious differences that set the two apart. They are clothed identically, in diaphanous robes.
Actually,
Both.
one on the left looks way different than the one on the right.
Yeah, well, you can't really see the details of what they're wearing from this angle. But
Fair
they
enough.
are both wearing diaphanous robes. There are some differences in their headdresses. In that Demira doesn't really wear a headdress. She more has like like hair sticks, like ornamentation in her hair. Whereas the alabaster statue, the woman in this statue seems to be wearing a like a helm, though sculpted to look like it's probably made out of cloth. So helm's maybe not the right word. But she wears some sort of like cap that sort of
A
looks like
headband of some sort?
sort of looks like a basic helm or a beanie, maybe, like a skull cap, but made of cloth, basically. Her hair flows down her back. You realize as you're looking at the statue that she is also significantly more well endowed than Demira. And that she has a sort of like beatific smile on her face, whereas Demira has a sort of like appraising look on her face with neither a smile nor a frown.
Could I tell if they were related by blood?
It doesn't seem that way to you. I mean, they're not painted, so that might make, some sort of difference in your mind, but from what you can tell, they don't seem to be related, no.
Interesting. Okay.
And then what's up with the fire?
It's a massive brazier. Like it basically it burns, like 6 feet high, like it's big. That said, there is nothing but flame in the brazier, so it is probably not a mundane fire.
What color is it?
White.
Interesting question.
Yeah, that's magic.
Yeah, interesting question. Too bad there's no way to focus on Watts and see what he's seeing. I mean, for the purpose of the stream.
Right.
I mean, you could be doing the stream in a stream.
I already did.
Right there.
I've done NeuroStream. No, I already have. And
Yeah,
I just looked.
I'm next to Watts.
Oh, are you? Like the last time I looked a second ago, it didn't look like that.
Right. Well, we went up to the second floor together.
Boop. Oh, I see you, Spider and Cupcake. I think that was a song from the 70s, Spider and Cupcake.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Haven't you heard that one?
Question: the knights and the lions, are they the same alabaster material as other?
They are. Yes.
And since I'm looking at this demon, that would be, I think, a religion check, or would it be a history check?
I mean, honestly, either of those would probably get you something.
I focus in on it like demon. Like I'm trying to encourage the system to pop up something.
Wow, the dice tonight seem like they're clamped at like mediocre.
Right, I've noticed that myself. Yeah, Watts. So interestingly enough, a system window does open. However, there is a single line of text inside the window, and it is blinking, and it says error, file not found.
Oh, sacks.
This is from outside the system. That's huge.
You say via your Cupcake avatar.
That's huge.
Yeah. This is outside the system. That's huge. Shit, dude, we should be making what do they call it when you do the little? It's something ugami when you make little toys.
I'll do a religion check on this other statue. See, oh, never mind. I know Jack and Crab.
Yeah. You don't even get an error message.
While he's doing all that, I would have snuck through the stone doors unless it's completely sealed.
It is in fact completely sealed, or rather, let me put it a different way so that you understand what I mean. It is wizard locked, for lack of a better way to put it.
I see.
Which is to say, is there's space, and you feel like you should totally be able to get under it, but for some reason you just can't squeeze through.
Right. It's like when there's a invisible barrier in a 3D game, and you're running, and you're just like running against it. And you're just like, what
Exactly,
the fuck? What the fuck? You guys? Lazy.
No, that's fine.
Okay,
Upon
musing
discovering
aloud.
that, I would probably continue up this way. No,
I would actually yell at Spider Bro. You'll want to go back down to the side I was on. There was a locked door I couldn't get through.
I can't.
You
really
actually did go into that room.
Yeah, I did.
The one on the south side?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I hear some cupcake squeaks, and I wave and I keep going. I don't think the cupcake can talk, can it?
I was kind of hoping. Maybe it can't. I don't know.
It has a mouth, but it doesn't speak languages.
Wow,
Okay.
that's like some Harlan Ellison shit.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Obviously, there's like a deal going on here. I'm going to do an insight to see if I can tell exactly what this situation is depicting.
Damn.
Wow. Okay. 1 second. Gel dice. Go.
Wow. Trash dice. Go.
Still a lot of ones in there.
Yeah. Oh my god. Barf.
Yeah. Again, let's.
It's a little better. Not much, but a little. Oh, and those are all low. Like fewer ones, but all low. Oh, there you go.
Okay, that's a little better. Okay. Do you mind if I throw another insight check, sir?
Nah, go for it, man.
It's a little better.
Like, clearly, you're just not meant to get it.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
Wow. Good roll. /S.
Well, you don't expect much out of an 11 perception, okay? Like, this little dude's
Don't expect much out of a cupcake. I understand.
Okay.
Phalian, you're basically looking at another landing room, kind of identical to the one on the south side.
Oh, I was muted. Is that a shield on it right next to the window?
It is a shield, actually.
Like a functional shield or a decorative shield?
Both. Like, I mean, it is a real shield, though it has obviously been hung as a decoration.
But in a moment of need, it could be pulled off the wall and used as a shield, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, more importantly, it's very obviously been used as a shield before in that there are dents and scratches on it. So, like, it's probably a hung, relic's the wrong word, but like a hung artifact,
Yeah.
I almost want to take it.
With your whole spider form, just carry it along.
No, just
yeah,
pop
well, you
out
could
of,
break a shape. Yeah, exactly.
wild shape and grab it.
I can see you like opening your box with your little spider hands,
Nah,
and then just moving it in.
I can't take it out of my spider form. It's stuck with me.
Yeah, it's in your person, kind of.
Yep. Well, if there's gonna be something to take, that might be it. It might just be mundane and battle worn, or it might be super duper magic shield for legendary heroes like us. If I go this way, is it going to take me back to the other second floor map, or is this a different second floor?
Yeah, just from what you know from the like layout you've explored so far, you're pretty sure that'll take you right down to the landing on the north side on the second floor.
I see. Oh, right. Yes. Not really any way to get past that stone wall without just waiting there for somebody to come by, basically.
Oh, like it'd slip in, like you're infiltrating an office.
Yeah. And then once I'm in, I'm going to have to do the same thing to get out, which is a dangerous prospect because no one, maybe nobody leaves for an hour or so.
Yeah, right. That could be sketch.
Okay, well, if that's the case, like, I'm really going to give this shield a good look over, like, front and back to see if there's any, like, inscriptions or details, or if I could, I guess, inspect if there's any history to it, or if I can perceive what material it's made out of, like, trying to access the interface.
Right. Yeah. So, before you even like try to do any of that kind of stuff, as a basic rundown, it is a steel, you know, like what's the word for it? Not a kite shield, but like that sort of like classic teardrop shape.
Yeah.
Shield. It is pretty thick. But I mean, as far as like stats go, you're pretty sure it's the classic like +2 AC shield. The emblem on the front, it's actually one half of the shield is green, the other half of the shield is red, and then there is in the center of it a white hydra. Otherwise, it is uninscribed and relatively nondescript. Like it has battle damage on it. And in fact, looking at the battle damage, it looks like something's talons probably raked across the shield. In that there are parallel tracks like fingers or something.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Cobra Commander symbol. What you just described.
No, it's a hydra rampant.
Oh, okay, that's better. Now I understand what you're saying.
It just looks like it's been manufactured of normal quality.
Yeah, I mean it's decent, like yeah, but it's not supernatural as far as you can tell. I mean, you haven't like cast detect magic on it or anything, but like it's not obviously magic,
Right, you're a spider crawling over its face.
But
No,
quality-wise, as far as you can tell, quality-wise,
You're looking at it from a distance. Very nice. Looks very good. My spider eyes.
Do a history check to see if I can figure out what sort of battles it's been in and who's maybe used it.
Yeah, go for it. Oh, Watts, what was that investigation check? Like, what were you looking into there?
I was investigating the statue in front of me to see if there's possibly a hidden anything. Like I'm just.
Yeah. Okay. There's no like conspicuous button or anything like that. However, it stands on this sort of like round platform pedestal. And you realize as you're looking at it, that the top of the pedestal is like two pieces. There's a disc that is the flat surface of the pedestal, and then the ring around it is an entirely separate piece, as if maybe you could rotate the statue.
That's how the door opens. Okay, interesting. And obviously, Cupcake Bro does not have strength enough to.
That's a safe assumption, yeah.
While I was checking all of that, was there anything that looked like an item that it was holding? Something that's detachable?
No. Okay. Can you roll insight for me really quick? Excellent. I'm glad that's better than the 11. One difference that you notice between the two statues is that Demira's hands have her like thumbs sort of like hooked in the sort of like classic Lego man shape, as if you could probably put like a staff or something in her hands and she would be holding a G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip style,
Two-part key. Okay, interesting. And I didn't learn anything about her pedestal. Okay.
It does seem to be one solid piece though. Like, there's no like corresponding multiple part assembly like the other statue has.
Can I
You're looking at the
tell?
tapestry, I assume?
Yes, I'm looking at the tapestry and the area around the tapestry, like what it's made out of. Like,
Okay, so the tapestry sits on a kind of complex like stand. I guess calling it an easel would be wrong, but it's kind of like an easel in that it's made of a sort
it's
of
like a banner of sorts.
Right. Well, it's hung like it's a banner, but like if you actually look at the frame, it's multi-part. So there is a post with a broad foot in the middle, from which there is a beam across the top where the tapestry is sort of like attached, and then it's draped across this sort of bottom bar that is only connected by a single rod down the center. Like if you lift the tapestry and look, or just poke under it because you're cupcake sized. Right. So like it looks like the frame could be disassembled pretty easily. But the frame, doesn't look special or anything. The tapestry itself is the most unusual thing, and what's mostly unusual to your cupcake eyes about it is that it seems to be made out of like cloth of gold, and the embroidered image is a much higher quality than anything you've seen in this world so far.
What do you see with your cupcake eyes?
Fructose.
Neat.
Interesting. Okay. Gonna need to get Cupcake Bro back.
Can I kind of consider what the Hydra is in
Yeah, you want to make like a history check?
that, or like maybe history or religion are both going to be abysmal, but
Can you cast Donut Recall? Up to a dozen.
no, I am definitely not hitting with these ones.
Yeah, I mean, you could try religion, I guess.
Okay. That's
Not.
3 5s in a row.
Yeah, you don't gain any new insights.
All right. I think I'm gonna start moving towards the downstairs then, because there was a basement to check out still too.
All right, so you guys gonna move down to the ground floor then?
I'm ready to. I don't know if Watts is.
While we're going down the stairs on the second floor, I would grab the spider bro and point towards the door that I couldn't get through.
Just picks up the spider. Yeah, here.
He went down the north stairwell, so you guys weren't together.
Dang it. Yeah, I guess we'll go down to the first floor.
Hey, you're all on the same floor. You should see your tokens on the first floor.
Okay. I was looking to go down to the basement.
Yeah, he can go basement because he can get through the door.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, Cupcake can't, but you can if you want to.
Yeah.
Give me a moment.
Sure.
Also, I am not liking this new update.
Yeah, it's chunky.
I will agree with that. That said, I still can't watch you from where I am unless I do my stream within a stream. So
You're all on the same floor now.
no, I know, but they're in darkness over here. Check them out.
And
Because
technically,
you don't have line of sight on them. I get it now.
Exactly.
and technically, we're just outside of the temple door.
Yeah, because we're over here. What's up, Yellow? I figured we made a snack. We're hanging out.
But yeah, no, that like I said, it's I found a good spot to watch the temple door and eat in the corner.
You still eat, right? Like that's a trip, right? Because aren't you like dead, but then also dead, but then now you're eating too? Like, doesn't that that's weird, right? Doesn't that trip you out, man?
I'm not eating right now.
No, but I will make a snack. Don't I have a
I
snack?
guess. I don't
Did you
have
bring snacks with you?
That's what I was just thinking. Do I have a snack? I wonder. I have Goodberry.
Or are you
Welcome to Goodberry, home of the Goodberry.
Or are you going to buy like street food?
I figure I probably already did that, but it looks like in my equipment I have Goodberry, which means I made a Goodberry or someone made a Goodberry. I wonder how long ago that was. Maybe it's a rock.
I said they only last 24 hours, so they're probably not there anymore.
Probably not good anymore. Yeah, I managed. Oh, sorry, I would have offered you a snack, but I don't have a snack. It's bad berry.
You go to reach for it, you just come back with goo on your fingers.
Oh. Welcome to Bad Berry.
I don't exactly need it. No. Don't even really think about it so much, unless you guys are eating.
Failing, did that map ever load for you?
Not yet. It's open, just not loaded.
Right. While these are big maps, they're not that fucking big.
It's not like you went buck wild with the lighting either.
Right.
Buck wild.
Okay, I lied. Actually, the Catacombs is a 32 meg JPEG.
No, 32 megs is nothing.
It's really not, but for a JPEG, that's big. Yeah, so you are in subterranean tunnels. There are torches lighting stuff, and through the northern archway. I'm going to have to pop them into visibility. One moment. This may take a second. That's all of them. All right. So you see a group of acolytes basically cleaning this area. In fact, you can hear them sort of arguing amongst themselves over who's supposed to do what, and which one of them is going to go put the skulls where they're supposed to go, and
You go stack the skulls. No, that creeps me out. You better get over it.
Exactly.
How high is the ceiling?
Not very. About like 8 feet, maybe.
Are they focusing on the ceiling at all?
No. In fact, they are basically cleaning the floor right now. So.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of take a look around, see what things are all about.
Yeah. So you're standing in a large like space. There's a. I mean, I guess you could call it a well, but as far as you can tell, there's no water in it. So there's sort of like a pit in the middle of the room. But it is, basically an empty room. You would guess it has some sort of ceremonial purpose, but it's not clear what that is. There is a doorway to the east, a sort of archway that appears to open into a maybe tomb or chapel. Like you can see sarcophagi, so you assume it's a tomb. But there's also an altar in the room. So
assume it's a tomb is the name
there's
of
an
my
altar
new
in the
album.
room too.
And there's an altar in the room too. Assume it's a tomb is the name of my new album.
I'm gonna kind of make my way over to the altar and see if there's any items like around or behind or any cracks or anything to check out.
Yeah. So underneath that altar on that side, on the east side, is a shelf. So like the altar itself is hollow. On that shelf are 4 items: a small silver knife. I hesitate to call it a dagger, but I mean it's dagger shaped. It's just very short. It's probably more for like cutting fruit than stabbing people. But there is a small silver knife. There is a golden bell. There is a small leather book. And then finally, there is a coin made of a metal that you don't recognize, some sort of very red kind of coppery metal.
Let's see if I can identify that metal. No, really. So I can't unmaximize the map right now for some reason.
Is it maybe still loading pieces or something?
No, I just couldn't grab the edge. Also, you renamed it Cathed ****. That's probably what was going on. You just...
Yeah, it's because my push to talk is asterisk.
Yeah.
Nah.
Many silly
Oh,
things.
you.
All right.
Are you casting Identify?
So I'm not going to scoop any of those things, even though I could probably make myself shorter. The bell might be a giveaway, so I'd have to be sneaky about that. But these are things they use for their rites and rituals. I don't need to take them.
Fair enough.
It's interesting to know. But no, before I leave, I did want to kind of investigate that coin a little and get
I'm Neil Queen.
whoa.
Yeah, you want to roll investigation?
Maybe.
Actually, investigation, perception, or insight. I think any of those would probably give you something.
Okay. Couldn't remember if I had a craft skill. Let's do perception.
Okay. So you can't tell specifically what the metal is, or more accurately, you can tell that it is clearly an alloy. One of its constituents being obviously copper. You would guess another is probably gold, but you have no idea what gives it that red color.
Interesting. Could be a lot of things. Could even be like a dye or something.
Yeah, right. Like in the modern world, it could even be like an electroplating, you know?
Yeah. Well, all right. And then I guess taking the hardest part of a spider and scratching that against it, does it budge at all like a soft metal, or does it kind of withstand it?
It does seem to withstand it. But just to squash the speculation I had made a second ago, it's clearly not galvanized. Nothing came off. Like it didn't seem like it has a plating. It seems like it's probably solid. Either that or just harder than you.
Yeah, I figured harder than me. I figured it solid, unplated, just harder. Okay. That makes sense. Then that said, I would make my way out of there.
You did not cast Identify, right?
No, I
Correct.
can't cast while I'm in
Spider
wild
form.
shape.
Spiders can't cast.
Spiders can't
While I was around, did I hear anything any of them were talking about that was of note? Am I able to identify that these are the 5 miscreants that started the fight?
Clever. Yes, in fact, they are the 5 miscreants who started the fight. And you could tell that because they're bitching at each other as they work.
Nice.
We wouldn't even be fucking doing this if you hadn't opened your mouth. Well, shut up. You fucking bet me. That
right.
kind of shit.
I'm going to find a corner that I know they had already cleaned and put down like just a couple of spider webs, just enough that they glint in the light when you walk by.
Oh, to get them in trouble. You're a dick.
No, not to get, well, maybe.
Spider dick. Where are you coming from, Spider dick? Nobody knows who you are.
And then, and then get going. Yeah, well, you better give that corner a second chance, assholes.
Yeah, so the room that you've moved into is pretty nondescript. There's a couple of columns sort of holding the ceiling up. A religious icon on the south side of the room, and a metal grated door on the southwest corner. There's some candles and a couple of like jars that have been overturned, implying that maybe at one point this was like a storage space. Like they don't look like burial urns or anything like that. So,
Oh, I gotcha. And then coming to the door here, did you say it was grated?
yeah, it's just a grated metal door.
Oh, well, I can pass. All right.
Yeah,
Looks
and
like
you
I'm
are
getting
standing
somewhere
in the
stinky.
hallway. Right. Yep, it's a very narrow hallway. Torches on the wall, mostly dim. Relatively clean, like no evidence of cobwebs or anything like that. So not necessarily like abandoned or anything, but definitely quiet.
Just can you sneak about?
Yep.
Sarcophagi.
Yep, you're clearly looking at a tomb of some sort. The sarcophagi are unmarked, however.
All right. They appear they're like locked and sealed, though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, they have seams. Like you could see where you could lift the stone top off, but they are, they're set in place.
Right. Okay. Well, no need to bother them. Oh, this basement is extensive. It's
Yeah. So this hallway is not as well kept as the rest of the place that you've seen. Implying, maybe that what's sort I'm looking for? That it's probably not particularly well used. Like it's not neglected, but it is certainly the part that acolytes clean the least out of what you've seen so far.
well, it appears to go nowhere, but
There's a strange smell of like burnt herb heavily hanging in the air.
Right, exactly.
I don't entirely believe that. Especially looking at the configuration of the torches.
You guys.
Oh,
No.
You guys. Everybody that watches this here and going forward, I tip the dope hat to you all. And I would like to take this moment to point to the chat channel and say, look there. There's an address I have posted, and that address is a place where those that go there can sign up to give money to myself and Snipe Hunter on the regular, and we can use it to do things like make cool art that we then will, provide back to the people that do that over time, and also to pay like taxes and things. It's amazing. We love you. It's so great. And we also slice a piece of our life out on the Saturday evenings right now. Ba-ding, like this one right now, where we go, you guys are recognized as patrons of the arts. You help us make real art. So you should be chuffed as patrons of the arts. And we like to take this moment to say, thank you. This one's for you. Cheers.
Bottom of our hearts. Cheers and be chuffed.
Glory and good health.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Keep up the good work.
Oh, phew. My therapist would be happy to know that I'm not drinking from Monday to Thursday nights. But oh my God, that really does weird things to my tolerance and my face when I drink. Also, that for some reason my this looks like my Skyward Star thing failed. Let me try again. Goodbye.
So I would take a guess that either around here or between the doors here is where, or excuse me, between the torches here is where I would find secret door of some kind.
I will send you cool shit. I promise. It's in the mail. It's happening soon. I promise.
Do you want to make an investigation check?
Yeah, investigation or perception or.
I'll take either of those.
All right.
Investigation.
Wanted to give me that.
Fucked
13,
up. Yeah. Okay. So,
dude, the dice, man, the dice tonight.
I know they've been fucking not nice today. But yeah, the wall doesn't seem to have any gaps or protrusions that you could see would be like buttons or hidden keyholes. And the air is relatively stable and still where you are, so there's no evidence of a draft. Do with that what you will.
All right. Well, it seems like a useless hallway. It seems like there should be something connected to here, but
It's like a waterfall with a cave behind it. There's nothing there. Just like, what the fuck, man?
I know, right?
Yeah. It will
What have you
warrant
been done?
further investigation perhaps another time, but for right now, that's one of those levels a procedural generator might do, or parts of a level that's just like, what are you doing, bro? Is this a grate here?
Yeah, it's another graded door. Hold on.
All right. I can go through those.
I was gonna say, in theory, is it open now?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is where the edgelord sleeps.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, it does seem to be a burial chamber. There are a couple of stone sarcophagi with effigies of knights on them. as well as some tablets set into the floor that are very clearly grave markers. And then there are these 4 like little like mini shrines, 2 on the south wall and 2 on the north wall. That you can't actually see them in the map because of the perspective, but there's like a little mini Demira in each of them.
Okay.
Huh.
So was it specifically like carved to be at an angle and fit correctly like this?
Oh no, those are slightly ajar.
Okay. Are they ajar enough that I can kind of take a peek at what's inside?
Yeah, actually. Sure. Was a spider? Absolutely.
All right. Spider gonna get himself cursed. Checking out a corpse of a fallen hero. Didn't make the turn. Oh no.
Yeah, so inside is a skeleton, and a bunch of dust. And that's about it.
Skeleton and a bunch of dust.
Nothing in any hands, no possessions, just
Nope. And in fact, if it was clothed, that clothing has long since deteriorated.
oh. Okay.
Remember, last time, fucking YOLO told you that they like hiding their heroes' items behind, puzzles.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna check this place out a bit. Over here then. Same thing. I can check it out. Skeleton dust.
Yeah, basically the same thing. You do find, let's call it 4 copper coins.
No thank. Not for this spider.
You're gonna carry them around? Like, what are you gonna do? Wow, copper coins!
I think. Let's see. There's 5 grave markers on the ground and 4 altars. Not really seeing a specific pattern to anything here. There were 5 heroes in the last puzzle treasure room, though. Do I see any cracks or any special things here? Or is this just the sort of thing you'd have to come up with a pry bar to get open?
Hold on just a second, sorry. In fact, let me finish my distraction because there's a fuck up on the map. And it irritates me that there's a fuck up on the map.
So that was definitely room to make a self-deprecating joke about, yeah, I know I'm a fuck up, but at least I'm a good spider fuck up. Or something like that. But no.
That is funny, though.
It works.
You're a fuck up. 8-ball, tell me so. Really? Gives me that whole thing where it just floats and it doesn't give me an answer because the water's too dim. I gotta have more water. What the fuck, man? Give me an answer.
Sources say, ask again later.
Worst 8-ball ever.
Yeah. So, it's pretty clear that what you're standing on is a like stone lid. So, like, if you had, height, leverage, and a pry bar, you could probably get it open.
Okay, but they're pretty well sealed in this current state, I would imagine.
Yeah, and no obvious like hinges or buttons, so nothing like, designed to spring open as far as you can tell.
What's this to the left? It looks kind of like rubble or something, and then
yeah, so the wall over there is kind of fucked up and broken, and you can see that there is another room in there that is very clearly neglected. Cobwebs, busted up shit.
Can I
cobwebs? You gonna go in there and have a spider fight? Spider fight.
Yeah, not the way it auto generated the collision. No, you can't. But yes, you should be able to. So I'm gonna swing you around.
All right.
A spider fight. I want to see it.
And yeah, I did see the priest there earlier.
It's time. It's time for a
Yeah,
spider.
you would have
fight.
been able to see him through the door as he came around the corner. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Only one of these is a real spider, and one of them is just a shapeshifted motherfucker.
So all of this stuff looks like old decor and debris. Have I seen this sort of circle cross shape anywhere else? Does that?
Yeah, actually one place, in Poe. Oh, wait, no, you did not see it. Verde did. So no, absolutely not.
Oh. All right. And then when I go here, is this like a shoddy brick wall?
Yeah, it's another place where the wall, like the integrity of the wall has failed. And you can see a burial chamber on the other side.
Does it look like... No, that wouldn't be the doorway. The doorway's down there.
Yeah. In fact, you can kind of, like, if you were to angle yourself right, you'd be able to see the doors in the southeast corner of that burial chamber room.
Well, but everything in this room looks like it's pretty well fallen apart. Neglect.
Yeah, it might be like the junk storage room, like it might be that room's integrity failed, and rather than fix it, they just fucking threw all the shit they didn't care about in there.
And so here's another burial room. Like we were saying, that I saw from the other side. It's got 2 sealed sarcophagi. We've got 4 burial things on the ground. The statues aren't holding anything in their hands, are they?
Each one of them holds a stone sword, like it's part of the statue.
Yeah. That ain't special. Alright.
That ain't special.
The other burial might have some stuff, but I have to be sneaky about getting at it. This place is kind of big. Okay. Does everybody mind that I'm just kind of creeping through here? Are you guys watching on my stream?
I am watching on your stream. I have co-streamed your stream.
Rated door?
Oh yeah. There you go.
Point. Alright. Clearly, these are the burial chambers. These catacombs are catacombs. These catacombs taste like catacombs.
Nothing but
no, I
bones.
guess that would be the catacombs really do taste like catacombs, if I'm going to do the quote correctly.
Right.
Corpse berries really taste like corpse berries. It's just how long do you have that before you go plonk back to yourself in that shape, and then
I heard of a corpse
a total
berry.
of 2 hours.
and then when you get back to us, right? So like, are you keeping track? And then when you get back to us, it's going to be like, okay, so I found a bunch of like tombs. Now what? What do we do?
No, the stuff upstairs is a lot more interesting. I'm just making sure there isn't like some secret priest hangout or something.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, these halls aren't exactly hallowed.
Yeah, they don't.
Right.
They don't quite see.
And you're just like this, like doodly doodly doo. I'm like, I can see this like late '80s movie, and like every other scene is like 15, 20 seconds of a tarantula just running down the like doodly doodly doo.
Right.
I didn't spot the room up there, by the way. This
You're
one.
peering into the window, and then we do some exposition, and then the tarantula goes doodly 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 and runs away.
There you go.
All right. There.
Having been raised on this shit, like, yes, please give me my exposition. I love it.
Does this one really have
This is not a burial chamber. That's very obvious from the manacles on.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that is definitely.
Lamarillos.
We've gotten past where the actual dead people are and gotten to where the might become dead people are.
Yeah, I mean the room has definitely got some like oubliette vibes.
Okay. I see it just kind of connects around here. That makes sense.
When you knock your grinder over and spill, grams and grams of weed on the like desk, essentially.
Dude, desk is good. If I did that here in my room and it got onto the carpet, I would never see that weed again.
Oh no! Oh shit! That wasn't even open. Woo!
The shag on this
Nice.
carpet is so like 70s deep. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like you could drop lighters and the carpet would swallow
We
them.
just swallow them up. Wow, I lived in houses like that. I mean, if you remember, we lived in the Plateau house, which had some shag.
Exactly. It reminds me of that carpet, in fact.
Nice. This place where we live right now, Verde and I live, there is nothing but hard composite floor. Like the entire place is composite floor.
Right, that makes sense because you're a high-rise tower.
Well, exactly.
Phalian, yeah. So, seems like another dead end. Bunch of like junk stuffed here. Well, they're not junk actually. To be fair, they're obviously right. They're obviously like burial urns, but they're empty.
Waiting for new. Like, do they have like blank name tags like Starbucks cups?
That's funny. Yeah, right. Hello. My name is.
Right.
But yeah, it looks like it's just a
brewed specifically for.
All right. Well, I will continue then to walk around and look at things. This is another one of that symbol, right?
Yeah. This one's whole though. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go in here, take a little closer look at these statues. Do they look special in any way?
They don't. They're you recognize the like standard battle gear of absolvers. So like they're not even like individuated. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. And then
more akin to like terracotta soldiers than actually even those are more personalized than these. So that's fucking not even doing them service.
Wow.
Yeah, they were pretty cool. Made a few different styles to match the people. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I found that fucking fascinating person.
Yeah, that was really cool. I wonder if there's anything on or around here, or is it pretty much solid?
It seems to be carved out of a solid piece. There are characters inscribed into the circular portion of the cruciform. You don't necessarily recognize them, like they aren't any of the established languages that you've seen, but that doesn't mean that they're special so much as like they may not be real. You know what I mean? They may be entirely decorative.
Does it look new, or does it look like it's been here for centuries?
Probably somewhere in the middle. Like it's probably been here for centuries, but it's not as old as some of the stuff you've seen.
Not like those books. Okay. All right. Then I'm gonna go back out this way. Down to here. And over to here. And
all right, yeah, through a broken piece of wall, you can see what you would guess was at one point a chapel of some sort. In that you see deteriorated and broken pews, some broken like columns or masonry work. Looks like at one point this room was probably pretty cool looking, but that time was a while ago.
Okay. And then probably actually go into it.
You may be able to do that right now, just right across that window then. It's not really a window, but I set it up like a window.
No. You would
Damn.
have to open that.
Okay, there it goes. I thought I had it open. That's weird.
Weird that the light map goes from like gray to normal color right here.
Yeah, that's the Dungeon Alchemist that I use to generate the map. It tries to bake the lighting in, but it obviously fucked up there.
So, is there anything on any of the shelves or any of the surfaces or under things around here? Is it pretty well abandoned?
It's pretty well abandoned. So there's a couple of strips of cloth, white, not red, which is different from what you've seen before. But
what I saw, he was already spider form.
Deteriorated and old. There is a broken fount. There is a smashed statue. Well, the head's come off. I don't mean that it was like destroyed by violence. I mean that it is decayed. And as a result, its head has slipped off the statue. But it's obviously a statue of Demira. Like you recognize it.
Compared to the two we saw by the fire, does it look like the alabaster one or the onyx one?
It looks like the onyx one. It's just done in marble.
Okay.
There's no way I can corroborate the one that I saw versus the various versions he's seen. Until he comes back, right?
Right.
Is this a window here?
Table talk. No, it's just a smashed piece of wall, and in which case it's just earth on the other side.
You're going to tell me that the one I saw looks like every other one I saw, because otherwise you would have called it out when I saw it.
Yeah, pretty much. I was going to tell you that it's not, other than its material, it wasn't in any other way unusual that you could see.
Exactly. Yep. Otherwise you would have called it out then. Yeah, makes sense.
Right.
All right. So I've got a pretty good feel for a lot of this place. There's still a few rooms I haven't quite gotten to yet.
I dropped my entrepreneurial spirit, a gluten-free smoothie sour. Now I'm afraid to open it.
Is it carbonated?
Oh, I'm sure it is. It is a, what's the other word here? Mango lemonade seltzer.
Oh yeah, that's carbonated.
Indeed, it has seltzer in the name.
I feel like there's another room over here. Was there?
It's hella craft. That's
passed?
probably delicious, but I dropped it on the floor, so now I'm not going to open it. Afraid.
Yeah, there's no explanation for that alcove there. So if your dungeon sense is telling you that's weird, that's not an invalid dungeon sense, I suppose.
Your spider sense
also
that
that's funny.
Alleged end of a hallway on the other side there too.
Right.
So then we kind of.
Oh, no less than a dozen spider people today. Spider folk,
man.
Spider peeps.
Spider fam.
Then I did.
Right.
Yeah. So an 8, it doesn't tell you much, but just like the hallway, the air is still. There's no obvious protrusions from the wall that would indicate a button. No gaps that would indicate a hidden keyhole. No obvious levers.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that might warrant further investigation. And there's no doorways or broken walls that lead to the south anywhere else. Like here, for example.
Well, I mean, it looks pretty wall-like to you there. But if you wanted to investigate, you could.
Yeah, I think I'd like to investigate it.
Yeah. Yeah, again, no obvious gaps, no obvious
Good roll.
protrusions,
Good roll, bro.
No levers. There is a faint draft in the hallway, but it's not like coming from that spot or anything.
Huh. Can I tell about what direction it's coming from then?
It's coming from your west.
Okay. I'm gonna try to follow it. Maybe like a survival check.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you could use the hairs on your spider legs and shit. Roll that again. That's bullshit.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
shit,
Okay.
man. I didn't
Yeah,
roll
you
any
may-
ones is the worst part because those are re-rolls.
Right. Yeah, so you make it about to this intersection before you kind of like lose the direction. Like maybe some of the air is circulating so that it's both going, north and east. Yeah, so that's about as far as you get.
All right. Well, gee, with all of the walking around I've done here, and check back up this way one more time. See if there's any other spots I didn't check. It looks like I didn't go all the way this way.
Yeah, so
what's
this hallway ends, but it ends in this little alcove with a bunch of empty torch sconces on the wall and inexplicably a sundial set into the floor.
Spooky. What's going on here? There's not even an opening to the roof, right?
Correct. You are far underground.
What does
That's just my voice in your head, Neuro. That's just me speaking.
Yeah, any wording or phrases or anything on it?
No obvious phrases. It is marked, with the hours of the day. And the 12 o'clock position does have that sort of like starburst that you see on the map there. But that's it.
If I'm gonna try to piece together the light logic, if all 6 of those torches were lit, approximately where would the shadows be at? Like what time or times would it be trying to show?
I can't pitch my knowledge, but I have an idea. What if you use special torches that had different like burn rates, and you set them all up so that they burned such that they were like a particular sweep of light around the room? You know what I'm saying?
All right, I get what you're saying.
I could do this in IRL.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to light them all at once, you would probably get let's see, shadows at like 5 o'clock, 6:30, 1 o'clock, 10:30, and then like maybe like 11:45, maybe even almost midnight. Or noon. I don't know why I said midnight.
Danny, you wanted to try this, you should probably come over here before I finish it, because it's kick-ass.
See, interesting. That doesn't because those shadows don't coordinate with the star shape at all.
No, they don't seem to. That's correct.
Oh. Then what's this thing on the wall here?
It's a ring. Like almost of the sort that you would see as a knocker on a door, like just a big metal ring inexplicably hanging on the wall.
I wonder if that's some sort of activation device. Not really big enough to try it. Get the feeling there's some sort of treasure hidden down here, but I also don't want to get us in trouble just yet. And up this way would be the last. There's a doorway here.
Yep, another grated door though, so you can pop right through. Hallway seems to end in a dead end.
Hmm. Any sort of draft or anything?
Yes. In fact, absolutely is a draft. Seems to run right through that wall that's right to the east there.
Oh, okay. Maybe a survival check to see if I can kind of follow it through and see if I can find a shortcut of sorts.
Yeah. Hey, finally. Nice.
Yep.
I'm going to pop it open for you, but it's not actually open. You can just sort of scoot into the gaps. But as you crawl your way through, it's very obvious that you're crawling through a secret door.
Oh, nice. You just didn't open it. You found your way around the corners to your little Spidey Spide. A spooter.
So you said I am able to go into it?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'm going to do this. And this is still them cleaning, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is the spider web I put down earlier still up?
Yep.
There are definitely
Is that Neil Peart talking about the necromancer?
Something like that, right?
So I will come back up and rejoin the team.
Cool.
It was a transitional, as they say.
Alrighty. Well, now you're all back on the ground floor. A couple of you have exited the building already. Let's see, Watts. Your cupcake has made it back down to you. What is your intention?
Okay, so what I gathered from everyone else, this area has been basically fully explored. At least from what I could tell from our conversation earlier.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair cop. As far as you guys have seen, you feel like you've seen it all, at least, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, barring the mysteries you couldn't penetrate, like that big wizard locked door in the roof and shit like that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would then spider my way back to where I find Watts. I'm tempted to just scoop a whole bunch of that forbidden treasure out of the box and run.
Pardon me.
That's funny.
Long walk. Get all the way back around.
First to arrive is the cupcake.
And
No,
I
Spider was.
just kind of hop back into place as if I had been there the whole time.
My pastry pal! I say, snickering.
Sit me outside.
Oh, Verde.
Once I saw Phelan
did you get my
there,
message, Verde?
I
Only just
would
now.
be like, okay, the others left earlier. Let's.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, let's meet up with them and let them know.
Did
what we've
Omi
seen.
talk about what he discovered in the behind the door?
Have not all been in one place yet. You guys have all been tripping off doing your own shit.
Yeah,
So I've been waiting.
You came
just
by
got
and
back
sit
here.
next to me before you escorted off YOLO.
I know, but then me and YOLO took off, and then y'all bailed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he was busy dealing with YOLO. So
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So everyone get back together. We can share our knowledge.
Yep.
Yep.
Gonna get there.
Hey, come to my room real quick if you would like to try the Entrepreneurial Spirit mango lemonade seltzer gluten-free smoothie sour, because it is an experience. Give it a shot.
if it was truly the entrepreneurial spirit, it would like have a really flashy, really pretty looking label, and then you
I know, and it doesn't.
pop the
but
top, and it would just smell like shit. You know? Like everything
God.
bad. You know.
It's just
And
white, and I know I'm not supposed to show shit on Twitch, but fuck it, I am the rebel spirit anyway. And no, these people do not give us anything for the fact that I showed this. And if they'd like to, hey, I welcome contracts. Please contact me. The shit's in the doobly-doo just down there. You can click through and talk to me, Ombwa, and be like, we like Entrepreneurial Spirit, sorry, booze. We like it. You want to show it on your show again? And then I'll be like, yeah, because it's good shit. And pay me. That'll be dope.
Yeah, you should go get yourself like an Aviator gin sponsorship or something.
Oh, Aviator's pretty good. I like Aviator. My favorite is Hendrix right now. Like the mid.
Oh yeah, no, I was thinking
tier.
Aviator because Ronald Reynolds does stupid shit for advertising.
Oh, I didn't realize. So hey, Mr. Reynolds, I'm Ombois. I do games on the internet. We're playing D&D right now, but other times I play other games, indie games, things like that. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and I'll drink your gin because I like gin. But again, right now, my favorite's kind of Hendrix, you know. So Hendrix, if you'd like to step in, you could. But the Aviator might be sniping your game, and I might be drinking Aviator.
Dude.
Come on, Wes.
I'm. Yeah.
Verde, come get a fucking sample of this before I kill it. That's all I'm saying.
No, absolutely. I was actually kind of saying I only just saw your message because I'm kind of crashing.
Oh, yeah, well, we're getting near the end. I think it's
that time at this point. So
right.
Yep.
But I was figuring we were waiting until I was figuring we were going to wait till the entire party all got back together, and as soon as we all got back together, we were going to be like, "This is what I learned. This is what I learned. That's great." Now we're going to end because now we can regroup and do what we're going to do next time.
yeah, I mean, you guys could do the recap and plan your heist to next time we play too.